I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
I'm Doug Russell. We started AmFam where the Brewers' winning streak hits 5.
Oh, Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead.
Final score last night, 6-4. The Brewers with the win over the Padres. Same two teams again tonight. Jacob Mizorowski will pitch against Michael King. The NBA has concluded that the Bucks will not face any sanctions over shutting down Giannis Antetokounmpo at the end of last season. The league was looking into the matter after Giannis said repeatedly he was healthy enough to play. The University of Wisconsin has formally announced its athletic director search committee. Among those tasked with choosing Chris McIntosh's successor, athletic department legends Michael Finley and Megan Duggan, along with current Indianapolis Colts general manager Chris Ballard, former Badgers wide receiver. One game in the NBA playoffs last night, the Spurs beat the Timberwolves 126-97. San Antonio up 3-2 in the series. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball got to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Locked and loaded, ready for duty on a Wednesday in the good land. Not just a Wednesday, hot take hump day in the good land. Welcome into the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app. Streaming live for you early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths in the vestibule of the health club. We're here for you, Drew, Billy, and Armen, live from headquarters.
You know, brother, I got to say, I far from ever think that you're lying to us, right? I never, but there's certain individuals, we mentioned Lane Kiffin yesterday, that are great at being able to blow up the truth a little bit, exaggerate the story. But son of a gun, when I drove Drew's way to work this morning and I drove right by that YMCA and I see two young men standing there right there in that vestibule, just waiting at 8 minutes to 5, thinking that you're going to get that thing to open up with an extra 360 seconds that you're going to get on that elliptical. Good on you, man. Come on, let's get that day going.
You know, seize the day.
Oh, wow.
Seize the day. I got in before 5. I'm getting more than my money's worth out of my membership. That almost seems like an Armen move.
Yes.
If I can get there 2 minutes before they officially open, I'm getting more. I'm getting more than the average guy.
It is funny, we go there we go to that YMCA for swim class. I know, Billy, you've been there too for that, and
I grew up at that YMCA.
You grew up
yeah,
one.
100%.
Yep. And we go there now for swim class, little, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, is there a certain like machine here that's a one of one that's people are trying to get to first, or is there something like that maybe? And I try and keep my eye out for it, but I always think to myself, like, if the schedule permitted, would it be like in your best interest to get there that early, like to get that one machine, or is there something like one ideal? And then I think to myself when I'm in the locker room changing, like there is that hot tub there where there's always an old guy in the hot tub sitting there. And I said to myself, if I was to be a member of this place and go every day and it's schedule permitted, it wouldn't be a bad day to be able to soak in the hot tub all by yourself. Cause like no one else is going to be there at 5 a.m. And just to take your own to take the hot tub all by yourself and like have nothing else.
Soak at 5:05.
Get a soak and a steam, and hey, let's start the day up. Really feel like you're like spending a lot of money on a spa when really it's not.
Start the day with the executive workout.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you know what? It might not be so bad. And then I asked myself, if it opened 1 hour earlier,
am I
it could be
68?
me. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Could it be me? But
hey, man,
it won't be me. But
we appreciate everybody who's up this early,
yeah.
especially listening to us. I can't say whether those guys were, waiting for our show to start.
I think
like they're waiting for the club to open.
Just think of
they may have been in our queue. They were sitting there waiting for us, eyeing it up, man. They could not have waited. Oh my goodness,
like
it's so good.
We're like an audio newspaper,
Pretty much.
People used to get the paper way early in the morning, get themselves their day started, their entertainment. But you have us to listen to. You're there at the Hell's Club. Right. You're there in the
Did you notice
sauna? You can listen to us.
Did you notice also, Billy, like the as you're driving, we drive like west, or I drive west off my exit. He'd get here and it's like, oh, the sun is starting to the sky's getting light behind me already.
Yeah, and you're gonna laugh, but that's actually why I took the alternate route today, because I wanted to get a little bit more exposure to that bad boy. It was awakening, and I'll be honest, hot take hump day always brings a little bit more vigor and gives a little bit more zest to life that morning. But when you start seeing that sun when we're driving in, and just a little bit of blue instead of the darkest pitch black you've ever seen in your entire life.
Right.
Yeah, it's a different feel, a different vibe this morning on a 5-game win streak.
That's one of the trippy things that I had to deal with last week. Costa Rica doesn't have the time changes and stuff, so we're kind of mountain time there, right?
Right now. Okay, sure.
Right now. And it doesn't matter any day of the year. In Costa Rica, the sun basically comes up between 5:30 and 6 and goes down between 5:30 and 6 because you're right by the equator. And it's like every day. So in some ways that was a benefit because it's dark at 6 o'clock and like kind of feels like it's 9.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to be able to shut her down, get her rolling
beautiful
through.
Sunsets, and if you're day drinking, if you're drinking in the afternoon, it lends itself. And then you get a good clip and you can go to bed at 10 and enjoy most of the daylight.
Grab a flank steak and go and enjoy it.
Yeah, get most of the daylight.
Good cut, Billy.
You don't have to go you don't have to go deep into the night there because you can. I guess it's perfect for the surfer schedule.
It is, and it's also
surf all morning and then drink in the afternoon and then pass out and do it again.
Nice if you're really into golden hour. You get the sunset, then you go to dinner, or you get the sunset as your starting dinner. Some people are really into that. You can get that as well.
Be a big spot for the Instagram boyfriend.
Huge for the Instagram boyfriend. Huge to get the pictures in for those people that are really into the golden hour thing. So that's a big one. Eddie and Dallas up early with us. Sup, boys? What's up, Eddie? Early morning, man. You working hard this morning. I wonder if he still builds. He used to build like the stair ladders, I think. So I don't know if he's still doing it, but he's working hard.
Getting after it. We love it.
That's our kind of guy.
Speaking of getting after it, here's Billy Schmidt after being at Bark at the Park night at the ballpark.
Let's go.
As the Brewers open a series with a victory over the always hated but never feared Padres. Again, one big inning, death by paper cut, small market rally, whatever you want to call it. They got it done.
And 2 big swings from the 9-hole hitter who doubled his extra base hit output for the entire season. In being able to see the 2 swings that he put on the baseball, the sac fly in that 5-run inning, Drew. I mean, I guess Jeff Levering also thought that ball was hit to the moon after he banks one off of the restaurant and left. But you got all parts of it last night. And who didn't think that there would be one individual that was going to be barking last night? And Christian Yelich just could not miss Bark at the Park. I thought that was even in the midst of the W. Thank you, Buzz. Also, great work on the the doorbells ringing last night. and just as many different things to be able to wake up the pooches throughout the night. That was awesome.
I saw some of that.
So funny. But you have a team that right now may be capitalizing on the first bit of mortality from the Northsiders. You grab yourself a 5-game winning streak while they lose 3 straight after their 10 in a row. And all of a sudden you're almost sitting here right back at even. And how much different, Drew, does that entire lineup look when it gets all the parts and infusions back into it of Yelich, Vaughn, and Churio, even at the top? Even if those guys weren't the ones doing most of the work last night, bottom of the order and taking advantage and stressing out when a bunt and making the pitcher field his position. Man, it was an awesome all Brewers night last night, because that totally was it. Even though a 6-2 lead shouldn't feel like it, it felt like it was like 16-2 there for a a until it got a little hairy and dicey at the back end of the game.
It did a little bit, yeah. Nice win for the Brewers, though, to open this series. Is this 5 in a row?
5
in a row, baby.
Yeah.
5 in a row, beginning
at,
you know,
I think, yeah. 3 L's.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Dodgers have lost 4 in a row, all by 4 runs or more, I think.
Yeah, and Ohtani finally went yard last night after Dave Roberts said that they had to sit him down because he was just trying to swing out of it.
Researching it. Yeah.
Joey Ortiz being able to go in there and cap 2 guys. How about the individual that had that home run parlay at the Potawatomi Sportsbook of Shohei Ohtani and Joey Ortiz?
Yeah,
sick genius is what I'd call that individual.
Well, that's funny. I was, it's a little early yet. They don't have the home run props up for the Brewers, but I'm waiting to see how Justin Arnett and the crew will respond downtown to Joey Ortiz.
Oh, because there's got to be a difference.
His
now.
Power surge. Yeah. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely, the number's going to go down to hit another homer, because Joey Ortiz, you know what they say, he hits him in bunches. Actually, no one ever said that, but hey, I mean, maybe if he's finally.
I bet his mom did, though. I bet his mom did last. And listen, if Eric Haas is any indication, you talk about that Giants and Dodgers game, former Brewer hits a pair last night.
Yeah, how about that?
I also thought, Drew, and we've seen it throughout. We talked about it with Hunter on Monday, and we'll talk about it with Rock later on here today, is the patience that they felt like they had to show, wanted to show, and ultimately now I think are getting rewarded with Brandon Sproat. I think there were a lot of people after that first start against the White Sox where my man couldn't find the strike zone in the first inning. Mm-hmm. We're ready to ship him off to Nashville. And they're like, he won the spot for a reason. And now he gets his first win yesterday. Look good. He's, as all young pitchers do, got to avoid that one blip on the radar. It feels like it'll slide down the mountain. The avalanche will hit him a little bit, but not different from most young pitchers. He was really good last night.
He's pretty efficient,
big time.
To get into the 6th and be at 85, that's, that's where you want to be.
And man, find the ground ball when needed. It always helps. The pitcher's best friend, as they've always said. But he was able to spin a couple of 6-4 threes when they desperately needed it, and just appears to be gaining more and more confidence. And somebody looks like he may have gained a new role. And appears Chad Patrick's a bullpen guy now.
That's interesting too. But that is a good sign for Sproat. He's on a quest to get his ERA sub 5. It's still there. It's still going, but it looks like he's now settled into a better pace. A good reminder that, we always need to give ourselves a little time. When we start in April, we overreact a little bit to what these guys do. Give them time to get settled in. The Chad Patrick thing's interesting, Billy, but that's not a bad option to have if that's your bullpen guy. I mean, Chad's been reliable many times, not, playoffs last year notwithstanding was huge. So not a bad option to have, but that is interesting. And Hunter kind of called that him being the odd man out, maybe if that was to be the case, but more options is never bad to have. And Sproat starting to pitch better is a really good sign for the Brewers.
So what are we thinking about McGill's outing? A little wobbly, but he struck out 3 guys. It's like, how do you...
A lot of that was Mitchell, right? A lot of that was Mitchell not misplaying.
Yeah. So I didn't get a great look at it as we were running the home plate to first base into that little corner. Huge. I caught the clip of Garrett Mitchell getting himself up off the ground, but was it badly misplayed on the fly ball?
I don't think it was terribly misplayed, but he did take one step in initially. That first step really cost him on the way back. I thought he still could have got it, but kind of mistimed his leap.
Sure.
If he did it better, but still caught leather, but just couldn't clutch it. Yeah.
It's one of those that wasn't an error per se, but it's a play you expect him to make because he's elite.
Yep. One that he will be more upset about.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense.
Absolutely. Sure. And so, so that was the only real blip kind of late. And once they got past, the bulk.
Yeah, no doubt. And Abner Uribe, fastest pitch of his career. So Jacob Mizorowski rubbing off on everybody in that room. But he's got those two at the back end. However, the order, that process is going to work as long as you got those two there. And I wonder if the Patrick one was more out of necessity in your bullpen than anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, when Zerpa goes down and you start looking at more and more leverage arms, I know Zastryzny is going to go out on a rehab assignment coming up soon. I don't know that anybody thinks Big Rob Z is that leverage arm, and Koenig's still on the way back, hopefully. But, like, makes sense to try to add somebody else back there that you think and know that you can trust.
Definitely, yeah. He's Rob Z, just like one of those innings guys, and he's
eat up some bulk. Yeah, 100%. Throw him in there.
Good job of just keeping him in the game, like holding the score where it is. Like, hey, we're down 4. Throw Rob Z in there. We're still down 4. Suddenly, hey, we're up 1.
Now we got a chance. Yep. Yeah.
So that's kind of his role.
And those two guys that they draft or that they pick up in trades this year of Sproat and then DeDroin, that's got to be maybe one of Matt Arnold's favorite games, right? Does that work?
Absolutely.
Is it similar like when your second and third round draft pick, all of a sudden one has a sack and one scores a touchdown and Goody's sitting in the owner's suite saying, "Yeah, I got you guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it."
And
he's feeling himself a little bit after last night.
And I think he's got a lot of nights like that. I think every time Harrison pitches, probably still feeling that too. But he's just worked wonders again. Drone was huge last night coming in that spot, getting out of the jam, kind of getting the Brewers through all that. So that was another.
And Padres lineup's legit though, dude. Like
amazing, good man.
There really was no relenting as you see the next guy who at some point in his career had an 850 OPS and probably played in an all-star game just rolling through.
Just getting through that lineup is not easy.
They had some of their big guys punching out, and the key to me is just keeping Jackson Merrill down. Right?
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah. So he was 0 for, so nice win by the Brew Crew. And then they got the Miz tonight for a chance to win the series. Win the series. Like that's just clip them off. And you just swept a really good team with the Yankees. And if you win a series against Padres, you're rolling pretty good going into the Twins and the Cubs. In fact, you know who else is rolling good? Aaron in Fond du Lac. He texted us at 877-794-1973. Good morning, guys. Last day of the work week for me, heading to Minnesota tomorrow for the Brewers Twins. Let's have a weekend.
All right.
Let's go, Aaron. Come on now.
Way to support.
You're going to enjoy the Twin Cities.
Especially if the Wild and the Wolves are still, viable.
I was going to say they should be
Wolves are playing
putting
Friday
around.
night,
They'll be
aren't
playing
they?
Friday night to try to keep their season alive, and I got maybe a feeling they do.
They lost that game 5, right?
Yeah, pretty handily last night. Pretty handily last night. It wasn't much of a contest. I think the Spurs ended up winning every quarter of the game and did so in kind of dominating fashion. Wemby made a statement not with his elbow yesterday. Looked like he did a lot more other than a elbow to Naz Reid. But they got they got the scene going right now on Friday night, setting up for a very nice night of basketball because we get Pistons Cavs tonight and then potentially 2 Game 6s that could be closeout games or extending us to a Game 7 Sunday, which is always the way you like to start off your or cap off your week.
And the Wild have to win tonight to keep their season alive because they're down 3-1. This one's going to be in Ball Arena in Denver, but we'll see if they can do it.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very tough.
I'd say that. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, they're a big dog, but
it crushed them to lose the game and go down 3-1.
Yeah.
That was a crusher.
Yeah.
They went up 1-0, I think, in the game, and then the Avalanche just did what they did, and that started an avalanche. That team is unreal. Would that be one where all of a sudden you look out and say maybe unfair competitive advantage? I already marvel at the ability to skate on and off. Do that in altitude.
Oh man,
there's not a whole lot of home ice advantages. I don't necessarily think, but I gotta think that one would be one.
You gotta think, right? It's like it's harder just to skate. You just takes more energy. It's like if you had to try to swim out there. But yeah, totally agree. That's why a lot of we have a great tradition of speed skating training, U.S. Olympic training at the Pettit. But a lot of training goes on in Colorado Springs as well because of the way the ice glides, because of the altitude, because of the way you can train out there. So I agree. However, it's hockey. Any weird things can happen. We saw a weird goal last night for the Sabres, so maybe the Wild can push the thing to 6 games. But they are a big dog. There's no question about it. So Avalanche look poised in that regard, and they've been great all year. So it would be really tough for them. But if it does happen, it'd be quite a weekend in the Twin Cities.
Be pretty epic
with all those sports going on.
So Miz on the mound tonight. Brewers trying to win a series. Manny Machado still booed. Dogs barking.
Beautiful.
Doorbell sounds. One of the doorbell sounds came through on TV, and my dog at home.
Jet
Started to react.
Fired up. Check out what it was.
And I'm like, we don't even have a doorbell anymore.
I was wondering the same thing.
They made us take our Ring doorbell down as kind of like a HOA policy. Like you can't have Ring doorbells and cameras and stuff anymore. So it's like, you don't really need a doorbell in a condo building and stuff. But
yeah, if you got to buzz in, we'll
have
figure
to
you
buzz
there.
people in. It's kind of like don't really need the doorbell. But
The dogs were barking. I'll tell you this though, there were a lot of happy people leaving American Family Field. None more than the Pooches when they found real grass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when they got out of there, they were having themselves a wonderful time. If you're going tonight, I'd maybe if you're parking in the outfield, I'd hit that right field. Right field. The concrete might be a little stained out there and left.
Watch where you're stepping. Yeah.
Watch where you step.
Hey, do you think Joey's gonna be asking the Brewers for more dog nights? Hey, more bark in the park.
Hey, more
nights?
bark in the park nights.
Hey, come on, look how I performed when the dogs were here. Come on.
Well, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to hear Hunter Baumgart's recap brought to us by Import Minded momentarily, actually, and his whole "be like Bill" thing. It's like it's "be like Bill" is now the mantra for Joey O.
Could be a good one for all Brewers to try to adopt a little bit more.
Could be. We'll spin through that more. We got more Giannis talk. Sadly, it's not going away anytime soon.
It's ready to roll.
Giannis stuff. Got a theory of the case with Giannis.
Okay, I like that for hot take, hump take.
Yes,
Come on now.
yes. When we will entertain your hot takes. Hunter Baumgart's recap of the Brewers' victory last night, 6-4 over the Padres, is next, and our buddy Bill Schroeder is going to join us today, Wednesdays with Rock. No alliteration, but that's all right. We'll make do. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Are you okay? Like you guys? Oh, Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead.
Brewers TV last night, a 6-4 victory at American Family Field. Joey Ortiz with that somewhat shocking. Did I just see that home run?
Well,
1,000%.
Mid-story, so nobody was.
Who knew he had it in him? But
ready for that.
When we talk to Rock at 7:30, we got to remember to ask him about the Matt Arnold effect, because as much as we love Rock's pithy analysis, and then when he's not there, you get Vinny Rottino or Timmy Dillard. But every time they bring Matt Arnold to the booth, they have a big inning, so you might as well just keep him in there.
I was gonna say, is that a sacrificial moment for Matt Arnold, where he's like, all right, I do have to go talk to these guys for 15, 20 minutes. And as much as I don't want to necessarily say anything, as long as it gets us 3 runs, I think I'll put up with it. I think
he digs it because those guys grind. And I've asked Matt about that because I'm always interested. Like, what's it like? You guys are breaking on guys. It's,
100%.
Obviously, they're more invested than most fans, but they're also baseball lifers and they get the ebbs and flows. And I remember asking him, like, how much swearing goes on? Who's like the most nervous? Who paces? Who gets up? And like, who's
stressed out for that 20 minutes?
Who is stress eating? Like you gotta keep the snacks away. You got to stress eat. It's a fun dynamic, but he probably likes the little break to,
it makes sense. And I'll tell you,
focus you for an inning of not obsessing about every pitch.
Well, and that's the thing. And I'll tell you this, he's very good at it, right? Like he's good at being able to give you a little something while never giving you too much and still understanding that everyone's got a job to do. Nobody's asking ridiculous hard-hitting questions, but everybody wants to know a little bit about the decision-making process. And I also think, when you learn from maybe the best, Doug Melvin, he could have sat down there and done a full 3-game series with the broadcast team. And it does feel like Matt Arnold's more like that than David Stearns.
And Doug Melvin always has something interesting to say, always has some kind of perspective. Like, I hadn't thought of that.
Wouldn't have thought of that.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. It's funny because thinking about that, all the general managers of the teams that we follow here, John Horst, Gutekunst, and Matt Arnold, kind of similar cats.
Very similar.
Like good similar point. Psychological profiles. They are not spotlight seekers. They just want to do their work. They're all grinders.
Yep.
They're all like guys who came up the right way. Like they they weren't born to it. They all kind of, they're all in their own way.
3 guys in there.
Grinders.
Yeah.
Right. They're from scouting background and just working their way up from getting coffee, in draft night to running the draft. And every time I hear Matt Arnold, you just feel like, all right, the Brewers are in good hands, right? It's like this dude, he gets it. He knows how to treat people. He works hard, makes everybody else work hard, but it's not like I get the feeling it's not an overbearing. And I don't think everybody who works for him feels like they're looking over their shoulder to see what the boss thinks. And, it's just, he doesn't have that kind of ego. Just do your job. Let's go. Let's make the best decisions we can. Let's get the best players we can. And the results speak for themselves.
Big time. And Drew, no one will ever know other than, frankly, him and probably David Stearns, how much influence he had while he was the assistant, right? If any, or if there was a lot more than would have met the eye. And you mentioned it, they all come from the intern start. Now, most guys do into that position. You got to start at the absolute bottom. But when you roll through different organizations at all different levels of the sport, right? Sees it at the Dodgers level, sees it at the Rays level, pit stops in Texas and Cincinnati, I think, in there as well for Arnold. So he's been able to see it and understands what the good organization looks like, also what the bad organization looks like, which I think what you just hit on is maybe the more important one. How do difficult work environments start? And a lot of times it's exactly that. Guys looking over their shoulder, worried about what the boss is going to do when he walks in. And instead, happier people work a little bit better and ones that feel rather connected to it. And everybody in that organization, whether that's for Murph, deciding and talking about it being the people, he feels like, and sounds like he's made a mention of it a couple of times, feels like he broke Matt Arnold a little bit, like a young Mustang where he had to break him in a little bit. He's about people too now. All right. Yeah. He was about those numbers every once in a while, but Matt Arnold's about people too. And it can be different for all organizations and you got to put your own stamp on it. But I think the best ones are the ones that are run by guys that genuinely do allow you to have a vested interest in everybody in there while keeping a little separation of church and state.
Yeah. And it's great to be able to see the decisions you make, the fruits of your labor work out and come to fruition. And the Brewers have been able to do that. The front office has done that time and time again. He's built up, I think, pretty good equity with the trades he's already made and the moves he's made and the acquisitions and his eye for talent. But it just seems like every time, and you brought up Sproat earlier, Billy, and you brought up the moves already this year, it seems like Harrison, it just again and again, he just keeps hitting. And that's just such impressive work. And kind of, I don't want to say he's revolutionized it, but some of his, pre-arb extensions and his kind of philosophy on trying to build with the limitations in Milwaukee have been sort of revolutionary. Again, not the first guy to come up with an idea like that, but the way the Brewers have utilized it, he's done a great job. And you're right, Billy. I think he gives you that calming sense about him. So that was nice to see him. And I would imagine on the broadcast, he likes to talk about his team and he looks forward to talk about it. I mean, this is his main, this is his main focus right now in his work and his life is this roster, this team. And I would imagine he enjoys a chance to talk about it with somebody and to have a conversation about it. It's probably enjoyable for him.
I don't disagree. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's what the juice that they get. I'm sure it's next level.
What is their what are they working on right now? Would it be draft stuff? Is it
It's always draft, definitely, but
because you have so many damn players, I don't know how they actually go through it.
Crazy.
Right? Like you just studying in for the NFL draft and now NBA draft because in the 10th pick we're figuring out how we're going to start winning some games. And watching this NBA draft combine and that 3-on-3 is super exciting. I mean, wow, really fun. But like when you have the volume of players, I don't know how it's not always draft, but they get a little bit of an eye, or is this where it is? Let's sit back here and figure out when Joey Ortiz is going to start getting some extra base hits, or if I got to start making some calls.
Yeah, I mean, it's ongoing. You're always looking at the club.
Let it breathe a little bit.
But yeah, you let it breathe a little bit, and I think. One of the things with the Brewers, it's like there's the amateur scouting in the draft. They've cut back on the number of picks, but the Brewers do such a good job with the pro scouting.
Mm-hmm.
Like going and getting guys like, Drone or Harrison, like that dude, finding guys and being able to peel them away from teams and then have them blossom here. Huge.
And you almost wonder if he feels like this is where he can really strike on somebody, right? Like he did with like early season with Priester a year ago. Adames a number of years ago was a May trade when ultimately they grabbed him.
For as strong as the Brewers system is, like their key guys are, imports.
Big time.
Right?
Yes.
But they do. But there's more guys coming and there's a good flow. But they've done such a good job without being able to spend, $30 million a year on a guy, shopping in the offseason. They've built a pretty solid team.
Strangely enough, and maybe this is a good hot take, hump day part of the conversation. Even though they've had the on-field success at the major league level, I don't know. It's felt like they've had the combination of young hitting and young pitching in the system like they have right now. Right, like when it was the Braun Fielder weeks, it was, watch out for this young lineup. Yeah. Then in the 18s, it was watch out for this sweet rotation that we're grooming here to be pitching of Burns, Woodruff, Peralta. And then it was all pitching and figuring out how on earth you're going to scrap enough runs. And maybe more of the offense feels like it's still in the minor league level, but it starts out with Churio and then rolls from there. It feels like this is one of the better youngest parts of the team that they've had in a number of years.
Yeah, I agree.
And it is now just kind of waiting for it all to ultimately blossom. And when you splice in guys like Sproat and Harrison even more impressive. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
Just let the number of Paul Hembo stats, Greeny's stat guy in the ESPN stats extraordinaire, hangs out with your boy Buster Olney on a baseball podcast that I just got tuned on to. Awesome listen. He is all in on what they're doing with Kyle Harrison of just slightly changing his arm slot and really just it's let his fastball ride to a totally different level.
They just got something in the water here in Milwaukee.
He's kind of the found money that you had with Quinn last year. Although Quinn obviously was more of a project to most people than Harrison has been, but he's sort of like that found money, like, all of a sudden we've got this stalwart in the rotation that is just performing great, that maybe nobody expected to have that production, but he's doing it. It's great. But Billy, that's a good observation about the hitting and the pitching. Because you remember during that era of all the position players that came up, and except for Gallardo, really, it was like, okay, but why can't we grow our own pitchers? Then for a while, that was the issue. well, our system pitchers have not been growing correctly. We're having trouble with that. It was always acquisitions from outside, but yeah.
Why can't our Jed Bradleys and Tyler Thornbergs work out here? Where's our Taylor Youngman becoming a number one starter?
That was Hendrickson. There was like sort of an issue there for a while because it was like we were, piecing rotations together, which were good, but not homegrown. But now you're right with Miz, Logan Henderson, pick your guy. It's like, Ashby's a great example. They're doing well with that, bringing up their own guys in that regard. Also, their draft, like the first round picks that were pitchers in the mid 2000s, like the Rodgers and Jones and those guys that never really panned out. Then they went to position players, and those guys did pan out, right? And even into
for a number of years, they still didn't work out.
Well,
Corey Ray.
What do we think Clint Coulter's doing nowadays?
Yeah, but listen, I guess if you go back, though, they hit on more first rounders than not compared to the era before is the point I'm making. But you're right. They're always
and Armen, now, like you look at their lineup and it's like, oh, wow, there's 4 of the Brewers' last 4 first-round picks in it, where there was a time where you're like, are 4 first-round picks going to make the bleeping team?
Couldn't get them up even in the
Are we going to get anybody to make it up to the team?
Drew, I mean, the Tom Williamson and J.M. Gold and all those guys that couldn't even make the team, right? I mean, so, absolutely.
Corey Ray, single A manager
That's
now?
your guy. No, that's the one you always got an eye on.
I believe he is,
Yeah.
I was excited about Corey Ray. Silver Spikes winner, Golden Spikes winner, coming out of Louisville. My boy was tearing up college baseball.
Kid,
Corey, you know what? You might have great wisdom to impact on young player. Might become a great manager. I hope it does for Corey Ray.
I bet he will be. Super soft-spoken guy. Really nice cat.
Guy. Nice kid, cat. No doubt. You know who else is a nice kid?
Let me hear that.
Hunter Baumgart.
The best.
Our go-to guy for all things Brewers is Hunter Baumgart. He does the baseball pregame show. He has Thursday Milwaukee's baseball tonight, and he has a recap of the Brewers 6-4 victory over the Padres. Hit it.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers have won 5 in a row for the first time in 2026 after a 6-4 win last night over the San Diego Padres. They're also 7 games over 500 for the first time in 2026. It was a 3rd inning home run that gave the Brewers the lead early, a 1-0 lead on a Joey Ortiz home run. Yes, his first home run of 2026. This is what he said after the game, telling us a story about how a session with William Contreras in the batting cage might have just led to his first homer of the season.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, actually during early BP, I felt like I'd never hit before in my life. So it was not great. And then in the cage before the game, actually, I was watching William, and I was like, I want to be like William today. I think it worked out. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow too.
Sorry, what did you see with him that you were like, I want to do that today?
Just the way he was attacking the ball. And I actually was kind of fiddling with my hands a little bit, kind of like he does too. And something clicked for me as I was in there, and I just tried to take it to the game, and it worked.
This game's crazy sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I went in there, fooled around with William a little bit, and it actually locked me in. So it's funny how it happens.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, I did actually. And when I came in after the home run, he was laughing. That's cool.
I love some of those behind-the-scenes stories, and it sounds like William Contreras had a positive effect on his teammate last night. And I'll tell you, Brewers manager Pat Murphy said in that dugout, kind of seemed like a walk-off home run when Joey Ortiz hit that homer. The team was so excited for him. So the Brewers will go for their 6th win in a row coming up tonight. Jacob Mizorowski gets the ball for the Crew. 6:40 first pitch against the Padres. They try to take another series. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee starting at 5:30. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter Baumgart. Swell job. Be like Bill.
What a great advice. Like, what a strategy, right?
And be like Bill, and then let's lock up Bill so more guys want to be like Bill. Let's find more opportunities to have people be like William Contreras and be that kind of a dude.
You know, and Joey Ortiz, I know he takes his share of slings and arrows from the populace.
And I'm one of the number one whippers of that.
Especially when he rolls up with the bases loaded, as he has a penchant for doing. Mm-hmm. But the dude, you got to say, like, he doesn't take his problems to the field. His glove has been great. He seems like a positive dude. You can tell how everybody was happy for him, that he kind of, contributed and broke through. Part of me as a scrub on my college team, like that.
I was going to say, you
appreciate the grinder, So part of me is like tip the cap to Joey for continuing to grind, being a good dude, good teammate, even though he doesn't always produce to the level people would like.
Oh, 100%. And Drew, there's also something too, like sometimes the maybe lesser guy on the roster, you mentioned how everybody reacts to him. I think you've seen that with a lot of, the back end of the rotation starters. Teams play better when that guy's on the bump, not necessarily because they're trying harder, but the spirit of that individual is a thing. And he has done a really, really good job of not allowing his personal struggles to impact how he at least feels or makes it appear he's feeling in the clubhouse. Because when the team's winning and you're not playing well, that's got to be the worst spot of understanding you're like cashing in an A on the group project while knowing that you might maybe not doing anything to be able to shoulder some of the load.
That's a good point. Yeah. Joey Ortiz has had power in the past. I always talk about it, and it's in there somewhere. He had 11 homers 2 years ago. I don't know. I'm glad they were really all supporting him, and it felt like a walk-off. But there's a point where it's like, all right, guys, I get it. I stink. So let's not do this too much. All right, you're gonna make me feel bad. All right.
Well, I've been the fat kid finishing off sprints while everybody's standing there clapping, and then a couple of your friends start running with you on the last lap. Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
I didn't get a hit in Greenfield Little League for like a year and a half. So the first time I did, it was pure pandemonium on the bench, and I'm like, this is a little too much, guys. All right, I get it.
I love it.
Don't rremind me how bad it's been.
Did they carry you off?
They should have. Right. They probably wanted to. That was probably the idea they had back then. It was like people were whooping it up. I'm like, okay, I get it. I can't hit.
Armen was the Joey Ortiz.
Yeah,
moms and dads crying, cats and dogs.
Pandemonium. At least Ortiz could play short.
Only 2 teams in Major League Baseball have a better record than the Brewers over the last 2 weeks, and they are the Phillies. Remember when they were awful?
What's up, Don Mattingly? Nice effect.
They're 11-3, and the Rays 12-2. Brewers are third best record since April 27th. As they roll into tonight with a record of, what is the record? It's 23-16.
And we get the Miz tonight. Miz Day is always a celebration day.
A chance to go 8 over, which would be pretty nice.
What if they won 10 of their last 13? That's how you rebound.
That's how you rebound. All right, we are still rolling. We're going to take your hot takes for Hot Take Hump Day, 877-794-1973. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Ground ball left side, base hit. Bowers is going to score on it, and the Brewers will have the lead. Finally placed by Sal Frelick. Ground ball fair inside the bag. It takes a shot down towards the corner. Here comes Hamilton. No throw. Two-run double by Terang.
How about those woodpeckers? Some well-placed baseballs. They bat around.
That smack by Sal Frelick could not have been anything better.
Just knocked the crap out of it. I actually love, Billy's going to
hit them where they ain't, hit them where they ain't.
It just really, but that thing rolled so slowly through the hole. I mean, it was amazing though. I mean, Sal is just a savant at doing that and finding ways to make it happen. I always think of your term, Billy, or the Drew Small Market Rally. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Like, let's see, we got 2 walks, we got a wild pitch, we rolled one through. We hit a little swinging bunt.
Catcher's interference.
Yeah, swinging bunt where the pitcher didn't know what base to throw to, and he seized up, and everybody's safe. It's just.
Even I have to admit, the bunting has an insidious effect on defenses, it seems like. I mean, another fielding mistake, I think it was Waldron, right? Didn't throw to the bag. It does seem like there are guys that come up that don't understand how to field bunts anymore, or not used to it. And it puts them in an uncomfortable position. Well, it seems to work. You know?
I mean, also when the guy running down the field looks like a world-class sprinter.
Exactly.
I mean,
that dude, on opening day, I watched him go home to first. I'm like, holy cow.
Like there's fast dudes on this team, and then there's David Hamilton. Yeah. And like his ability to just find a little bit of a bunting knack is perfect. And makes Murph look like a genius when in spring training he's saying, guys, I'm telling you, this kid's going to be big time for us. He's going to be big time for us. And then you got rubes like me on the radio saying, I don't know, Merv. I'm looking at a 596 OPS. I don't know how that is exactly productive in big league ball, but he mentioned it, Drew, a couple of times. He's like, I'd never really bunted before now. And all of a sudden being able to take advantage of that speed, it's different.
Yeah, it's next level. So the excitement that we're feeling with this Brewers victory, the Mets actually have something to be excited about.
Hey, how about that? Good for them.
See their AJ Ewing that called up their #1 prospect.
I saw David Stearns looking sweet in that Peter Millar quarter set.
Rolls into the lineup. They win 10-2. They beat the Tigers. And AJ Ewing playing center field and batting 8th. 1 for 2, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI, 3 walks, and a stolen base. And his one hit, the first of his career, was a triple.
Oh, that's
RBI triple.
That'll work.
Pretty good debut.
Okay. That's a good start. That's a pretty good way to start your big league career.
That's a pretty good debut to be excited about. Now, you think about in your mind's eye, start wondering about like Cooper Pratt and guys like that, and guys that we're going to meet for the first time. Made when he comes up,
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, and if it wasn't for the Joey Ortiz offensive explosion last night, when was the Cooper Pratt hot take hump day questions going to start rolling through? I assume pretty quickly. Like when that money gets paid, Drew, and it's not outrageous cash, right? Like it's not huge money, but it's $50 million committed to a young player.
Yeah. For a guy who's never done anything, that would have been unheard of a generation ago.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
It was bad enough. They freaked out when they had to pay the draft picks, like, $4 or $5 million. It's like, what are we doing?
As much as any guy that they would have given the money to, I can't imagine anybody.
I mean, rest his soul, as much how much we love talking about Phil Garner. Could you imagine Garner when you were in his office saying, hey man, the guy that never played in the big leagues only has 12 at bats at AAA is going to make $50 million.
What are we doing?
It'd be a heck of a wake up. He might have seen it though.
Actually, Gar would have been the guy that say we should do that because it'll save us money on the back end.
We're going to cash it.
We should take the money that we're saving now and then put that into an annuity and then do that. Like
we're going to find a way to grow this cash.
Yeah.
Keep it in our account for a little bit longer, and then we'll find the way to pay him. But you think that it starts the shot clock on him at some point because that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That clock ticks, right? That's not a service time issue now. He's going to make that money regardless.
Yeah. That's service time is not even a thought now with him.
Yeah. So I imagine
you're locked in.
I imagine there's a lot of wondering as to when that would go. And admittedly so, beers on the table, as we like to say. I wonder if Joey Ortiz would say that kind of caught up to him a little bit. You start hearing it, you think about it, you know what's happening.
Yeah, you definitely hear footsteps. I could definitely see that.
And even on the flip side, how does it affect Cooper in the minors? Then all of a sudden he gets the money. He's like, I better perform. He was cold for a while. Guys are looking at him down there making nothing. Like, boy, you got the money now. You're playing those big numbers. So it's got to be an effect on everybody, I would think.
Yep. Getting Yelich back though. I mean, he's over, but his presence, just having him back. Is like, this felt like this is this is their team more or less offensively.
100%. And there's Hunter would be able to speak to it, and Rock will in an hour and a half or so. That he's a different kind of leader, and something that, when Drew be sitting there at spring training in 2018 when he first came in, I wouldn't have necessarily thought of man, they gotta bust out a C. I don't know if the Brewers ever put a C on a jersey, but maybe it would go to a Christian Yelich, because he has an ability to connect with all these young players, where even though some of them haven't sniffed the kind of success he's had, they all follow that dude. And even great things of Jackson Churio going 4 for 4 in his debut, and 0 for 4 was great to see 22 in that line.
Great point. That's funny because really quick.
They had a standing ovation for him yesterday.
Lev said it on the broadcast, is like the captain's back. And I'm like, well, it's not official, but he basically is. It makes you wonder, should they just make him an official captain? Only a few MLB teams have one. So that'd be kind of cool.
That's right. We're getting the international games announcement today.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I don't know.
It's not going to be in it.
It doesn't look like the Packers are going to be in it. So it looks like like no brunch with the post game show.
Winning. I love it. All right, we are off and running. It's the Wednesday edition. Get your hot takes ready because that's next. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers are on a heater.
Ground ball left side, base hit. Bowers is going to score on it, and the Brewers will have the lead. Finally placed by Sal Frelick.
Make it 5 straight for the Crew. 6-4, the final score last night. Milwaukee over San Diego. Same two teams go at it again tonight in Game 2. Jacob Mizorowski will pitch against Michael King. The University of Wisconsin has announced its athletic director search committee. Incoming Chancellor Eric Wilcott's expected to make the final decision. He was tasked with that by outgoing Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin, who leaves at the end of the week to become the new president at Columbia University in New York. Stanley Cup playoffs, 2 conference semifinal games on Tuesday night. The Sabres edged the Canadiens 3-2. That series is tied up at 2 games apiece. Meanwhile, in Las Vegas, an overtime goal for the Golden Knights. They take a 3-2 win and a 3-2 series lead over the Ducks. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill Schroeder for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hits. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, be hand, see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Ready to dominate a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Drew, Billy, Armen bringing it to you. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Reach us, 877-794-1973. Talking text line brought to you by Chico's Bail Bonds. Let freedom ring.
Come on.
Hot take, hump day's upon us. Hot takes, opinions, flaming hot nails of truth, opinions, predictions.
Acceptable, but not the goal.
Not the
not
goal.
what we want here.
No, not the goal. I think, we'll play it by ear, but we basically let everything through.
I was gonna say
no reason being too strict.
No, but we will cast a little bit of it aside. We will never turn it down. We would prefer as many as many more, though, as you mentioned. Just get the opinion in here. Like the opinion, the hot take of Paul Skeens right now, living up to as much of the hype as he possibly could get. Drew, he was into the 7th inning again last night with another no-hitter, struck out the first 6. Dude is nails, and our boy Joe Block was posting a bunch of old posts. At night, I know you'll love this one. At night, Paul Skeen, you better get him during the day. Might be a little bit of a vampire. At night, 5-0 with a .51 ERA, and has given up 8 hits in 5 starts.
Some guys can't do it during the day, man. Some guys are, night owls. You know what I mean?
That what Livy says too?
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey now.
We'd have to figure that one out. But I think I mentioned Victor Santos, I think. It wasn't Claudio Vargas. Hey, you never know. That's the time to get him, maybe. So that's when we got him. If you guys remember the Miz.
This is true.
Game. Yeah,
Midday was a day game.
Come on. Is the Brewers game on Thursday a day game? It is, isn't it?
Thursday's a day game. Yep. Tonight, 6:40 with
for us.
Yeah, it is. And I don't think they have I don't believe they have an announced starter quite yet for. Oh, no, that's Friday night that they don't have an announced starter. It'll be Harrison coming up on Thursday. Pardon.
Yeah. Okay, that's all right. 877-794-1973. Hot takes, predictions, whatever you want. Here's one for you. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but it's just like reading the winds, if you will. And there's been some talk, and guys are expanding, and the Shamses and the Sam Amics, and they're talking about how, this has been brewing for a while, and are we prepared for Giannis to leave? Are we prepared for the, I don't know, eventuality, inevitability? Are we just prepared for the Bucks to trade Giannis? Because it's going to come within the next, 5 weeks?
I would say 5 weeks. And Drew, I would say it this way. I think some more than others, to the point like where I've now flipped to the side of I will be as appreciative as ever for all of the 13 years of service with immense gratitude. However, I think it's going to start borderlining on wrong business practices if you don't ultimately move off of him at this point, just because of where you're at, how the league has completely shifted. Even though, stars will still drive the bus, you need to be able to develop and load up with young players. And with their CBA rules, I think you're going to need rookie contract contributors to be able to play and win at a high level. And right now, I don't see a path towards that without recouping some assets. So I think right now I've turned to the point where I'm excited to start looking at the packages that are coming, and I've fully shifted to they need to move him this offseason.
I think there's a lot of people to answer that question are ready for it. And then there's a lot of people, and hand raising there a little bit, that it'll be a shock and processing no matter when it comes. Like no matter what it is, it'll hard to ever be ready for it. But the reality is it's got a good chance of happening either way. But there are some, I'd say that more than some, I think more than not, are definitely ready for it to happen, or at least make it sound that way, that they're ready for it to happen. Just like when the Bucks got rid of Budenholzer, there were a lot of the time they were ready for it to happen. Now, those same people might go back later on and say, why did we do this? Why did we get rid of Budenholzer? But I think many Bucks fans, honestly, more than others, have been more kind of ready for it, so to speak.
My conflict in this is that if the Bucks are going to stink, which they might for a while, even after trading for Giannis, it'll take a while for them to get rolling again.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the bigger question.
Wouldn't you rather stink with Giannis than stink without?
That's what I've always thought.
That's what, that's the old, but
not this way though. Not with the public cry. No, not with the pouting on both sides and all over the place, right? I know that we should be competing and feeling like there's a separation of power and feeling like you're going to continually always have to hear even more conversation about it. Because if you think it dies down when he signs the extension, damn near ramp it's back up, because that's just what NBA stars do now, is lock in the cash and then demand the trade.
Well, here's the thing, and this is, again, with Giannis's status, he has some leverage because he's coming up on
for sure
free
he
agency.
does. Yes.
The team he goes to isn't going to give up a lot of assets unless they know he's going to sign the extension.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then the Bucks don't owe him. The idea that they should send him where he wants to go, even if it's not the best package, I don't think the Bucks owe him that. I think the Bucks have to find the best package. However, there were rumblings yesterday that Giannis wants to remain in the East because it's an easier path to get back to the finals.
For sure,
and maybe
to get back to the finals, no doubt.
Right now, the landscape of the NBA, it's that his logic is not flawed.
Not at all.
Given OKC and San Antonio and maybe even Houston, so Houston might be a place that would want him. But if he wants to stay in the East, that limits the amount of teams that he can go to, right? And I had thought for a long time, well, that sneaky Steph and their little moments that they've had at all-star games and marquee events that Steph was recruiting. And you think about this, like if they're gonna put the paddles to it and try to make one last ditch, and I don't even know if Kerr is gonna stay, but
he just re-upped.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he just re-upped.
Okay.
While you were 2 years, 2 years, 3 years,
2 years,
and that was my exact thought: is does he know something could be
so
around?
So they're
going
to try to run it with the old geezers and try to make it and patch it together and hold it together and sit them on back-to-backs, load manage so that they can play and get to the playoffs where you don't have back-to-backs, right? So, but my thing was, okay, so who slides into Golden State and makes them a better team, Giannis or LeBron?
Oh, Giannis. Yeah, Giannis makes them a better team.
I agree.
LeBron with Draymond and Steph. And
the greatest annual attraction in the NBA that they've ever come up with would be LeBron and Golden State.
So that's like
the NBA.
That seems more likely to me than Giannis going there.
Yes, it's also easier, right? Like the money would be easier. They wouldn't even have to move the Butler contract. I also think the fascinating one would be, and I heard, I think it was Nick Wright say this yesterday, like if David Stern was still alive, I think there might be a Miranda who just said, hey, by the way, just this year, no salary cap. All right, this year, no salary cap. If somebody wants to go and play somewhere upstate, maybe 4 hours away from where he is, go up there to Golden State, and then let's sell as many tickets as possible. And
many eyeballs.
And have the Harlem Globetrotters of the NBA and like the last American stars all run together and bring KD up there for one more run while you're at it.
It would be like basically a big three. I mean,
a big three style team.
Big three style team. I mean, Steph, Draymond, and LeBron. That's like
and Jimmy.
It's like and Jimmy. You're
when
right.
He's healthy.
It's like your chance to see all the stars, but like on the old timers tour. I'm sorry, that is 38 wins written all over it to me. I just don't see how.
Aaron from Fond du Lac's throwing it down.
How.
Did you watch any of LeBron this year?
LeBron was productive, but he's going to be another year older. He was
because Father Time is definitely winning that battle.
And when it's undefeated, Billy, and Draymond's going to get older, Steph's getting older. They struggled this year.
Yeah, I don't
There's
I don't know
way.
about that, but
On an average night in this past championship season, who looked older, like Giannis or LeBron? Because look at the games played.
That's assuming they all stay healthy. Right.
Well, assume Giannis stays healthy. Go ahead. Like, how's that worked out?
That has not worked out very much at all.
I agree. That's also a question. But this idea that the Warriors are going to be a contender, I just don't.
Nobody said they were going to win the title. I just said that they would be the greatest attraction.
They would be. Drew was talking about that.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. But if I'm building that team, who would Kerr rather have? Probably Giannis, but it's not cut and dried. I don't know.
No, I think it would be just from the ability to have more of a runway and a young guy that they've always. And here's the other part of it: the little bit of the leaving it better than you found it. There would be the total finality of it is going to be a brutal rebuild once Steph and LeBron shuffle off here in 2 years. Yeah. If they would leave it with a Giannis at 33, 34, still with some star power, still with cachet, ability to bring another one, I think they would prefer that because of what it would feel like you open up with the next window. The other thing, Giannis has always been fascinated with Golden State. So I think that one is absolutely on the table. But I think Giannis as well, the packages in the East might almost be better for the Bucks. So like the thought would be, I don't want to trade him in the East. I don't want to have to see him 5 times. Well, you're seeing everybody, and you're going to watch him on television anyway. Yeah. And whether he wins in the East or wins in the West, I don't know that it is best for you. However, you end up getting the best package is the most important thing. I don't know they fully go Portland with Dame and send him somewhere he clearly didn't want to go because it's the best package. But I think it's going to be one of those, Drew, where, hey, we got 3 offers on the table. Well, and I sure hope you like Atlanta because we're taking this one, right? Yeah. Or I hope you like Detroit and I hope you figure it out because us grabbing Thompson and company, that's going to be a much better package for us.
He's not going to Detroit. Can't see it.
Really? You wouldn't want to go play with Cade Cunningham and the number 1 overall seed? Like, this is the other part. We're all acting like Giannis is in this situation where he's either, I want to go to the biggest market possible, or does he want to win?
Yeah, he wants to win.
So I would say I want to go to Detroit, the team that just won 60+ games.
Yeah.
Or do I want to go to New York?
The Knicks, I mean, would be another
which is absolutely a case of it. But if they go to the finals, you want to be KD 2.0? Like
they break that up. Yeah. How do they?
I don't necessarily know that because he's also found himself in this situation because of what he has and has not said is if you demanded it and really, really wanted to be out, you could have made the big stink and you could have been having all this fun in New York this year, but you didn't. And maybe now you waited. Now you are going to have to go potentially to Atlanta or Orlando or Detroit or go call up Ryan Smith and, hey man, you really want to go put some butts and seats in the Delta Center? Give us that number 2 pick and let's send your ass over to Utah. Like, I don't care where it ends up being. You do have to get the best package. And he's kind of put himself into this corner by not saying for the last year and a half what he truly wanted, which appears like he wanted out.
Miami's in the back of my mind too, although I don't know what kind of setup.
That's just South Beach Bucks at that point.
Yeah, I don't know what would be back, what you'd get back in return, and what kind of team they'd have either. That's kind of but that's in the back of my mind as well.
They have draft assets though, right? Miami.
Not a ton. I mean, they have their own picks. They got Hero. They got Khalil Ware, which would be an interesting player.
Yeah.
But again, it then depends on what does he want to do when he gets to the place.
That's the thing.
Does he want to be buddies with Steph Curry and, as Armen said, maybe win 45 games and lose in the second round of the Western Conference playoffs? Do you want to have a chance to win and go somewhere in the East, or Do you want to go live where you want to live and that be Miami? If so, that's cool. But then
you're not
you left because you wanted to go somewhere else,
Right. It's
not because you wanted to win.
And is he going for a straight ring chase and just trying to join the best team and to pick up a ring, or does he want to be the major contributing factor? That's the other issue. This is very complicated for him.
Heat could give you
internally.
13th pick this year, along with your 10, and then they could give you their first rounder in 2030 and 2032. That's what they have available.
Yeah, so they're
and for the Bucks, that's kind of what they need to restock.
Yeah, they're kind of hit that way now, because they don't have much in the next couple of years. I also think the Bucks are in a position where they're hoping to grab as many assets quickly, right? Like, and this is where OKC, if they end up somehow miraculously losing over the next 2 rounds, they have all of the draft assets you could possibly have. I think they have 2 or 3 next year. They have the 12th pick this year. They would have maybe an AJ Mitchell. They would have maybe a Jalen Williams if you wanted to get a star back. The other one is, are you rerouting this thing all the way through, finding a big 3-team weave? Because, again, it's going to continually get asked because Jaylen Brown had to spark it up. Hot take hump day, Drew. Boston would be the worst place for all Bucks fans to have to watch him. And right now, I think Boston is finding themselves almost like the leader in the clubhouse.
Well, that was all the Jaylen Brown smoke, all that rumor. That was last week's rumor. So, yeah, that could be another one. I think, you just go back to what team is desperate. The Knicks look really good right now. If they get super close and don't reach the finals or win the finals, they might be the team that's desperate enough to try and get it over the top and finally deliver the finals win to New York. There are all these possibilities out there. And the other remaining possibility is that nothing still happens until he signs the extension, which Jimmy hasn't put it out there that they wanted a resolution, but I'm not sure they're going to get it.
How about Giannis and Bobby for Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, Dante DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick in 2032? That's the Wolves offer.
No, I want more. I want assets sooner than that. I want assets sooner than that. Now, obviously, you're gonna move
draft
off.
assets, or
I want draft assets earlier. Yeah, and I would. McDaniels right now looks like he might be one of the better players that you're going to get back, right? Like the possibility to flourish into something bigger and something better, because you want to have the lottery ticket of, and again, it can be wishing upon hope. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander came from one of these deals where the star player decided, hey, that's where I want to go play. So figure it out. That's where I want to go play. Clippers, figure it out. And, that guy that was the 11th pick 2 years ago, send him over here and he can develop into being that guy. You have to try to find and identify that young player to be also a core piece.
What would motivate the Knicks more? Like, not like getting to the finals and getting swamped and then thinking, well, we can't compete with Oklahoma City or
getting bounced in the conference finals.
That would motivate them more.
I think getting bounced by a Cleveland or Detroit, where everybody in NYC right now is already locking up their dates for June to try to figure out the finals parade.
Because the way they're playing, they have everyone on the hype train right now.
That's right.
And if that thing derailed, I think that's the desperation.
The trade projected here was Giannis, Miles Turner, and Kyle Kuzma for Cat, OG, Miles McBride, Tyler Kolek, Armen's favorite.
There you go.
And a 2032 first round pick.
Yeah, again, like the big the packages from the Lakers and Knicks, or Lakers, Warriors, and Knicks would all be bad, right? Like some people would say the Celtics offer would be bad. I think the Celtics offer would ultimately be good when you could figure out what you would then re-get for Jaylen Brown, because you'd be trading for Jaylen Brown and then retrading him somewhere else.
Because I can't wait 6 years for a pick. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. 2032.
I got a feeling the Bucks think that same way.
It's just crazy to me that people will be like, okay, well, we'll give you a 32 and then a couple of these players. I'm like, no. If we're going to do this rebuild process, which I think I can stomach and understand why we're doing it, but I don't want to wait 6 years to do it. I mean, that's wild stuff to me. If we're doing that, then I might as well keep Giannis. Hopefully he stays healthy and has 4 years of production, and retrade him in 2 years if he signs the extension. That's just the way I think about it. I don't think I'm sitting here thinking, all right, we got the 2032 pick. Great.
Aaron and Fondy, I'll bet you guys a $50 Dunkin' Donuts gift card that he plays for the Bucks next year.
Well, what do we
Okay.
like? Boston creams? Do we want the long?
I was gonna
john?
say,
Let's start thinking about it.
I'm down with that. I like the Dunkin' Donuts deal. Now we're also Glazer positive on this show. Also got a maybe one of the older things I've done, maybe one of the bigger Armen things I've done on a hot take hump day last night was I got the little circular, the mailer of all the coupons.
You kept them? Did you keep those coupons? You clipped those bad boys?
When they're giving away a free dozen donuts at Krispy Kreme,
that's what I'm saying.
You better believe I'm clipping that.
There are deals out there, and I've got a coupon drawer now for them. So there's a deal. There's deals out there.
Armen,
I don't
has
want.
You have a coupon.
I got a coupon drawer.
I love
the
it.
coupon drawer, and I don't want anyone looking at us like we're the coupon drawer for Giannis. I don't. All right, and I yes.
Well,
I
this
have
is
coupons.
again why you wait. And like I know this is going to be difficult. I know no one's going to necessarily love this, but this is exactly what Nico Harrison got fired for not doing. For if you are going to move off of the superstar, you gotta open up as much of a bidding war as possible.
Yeah.
This is again why you don't trade him at the deadline, Drew. Like we were talking about in hammering home, the packages are going to get better in the offseason.
You were right about that.
And teams are going to get way more desperate in the offseason. And there runs those Boston Celtics down the ramp.
Baby. All right. Hot takes. Keep them coming. 877-794-1973. It's halftime of the week. Hot take hump day. Halftime of the show. Scott Dolphin, country station down the hall, going to pop in and join us next. We got some news about, the schedule. NFL schedule is dominating the news. We're going to get the international games. Looks like the Packers are going to avoid an international trip, which will make LaFleur happy. But we have the first destination, apparently, for College Game Day's season debut. We'll talk about that with Dolph. That's next. It's The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, Drew, Billy, and Armen. This portion of the program brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Find a clinic near you. Sign up for the free, no obligation, no cost, nothing. Consult and see if they can help change your life for the better. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall joins us for our halftime report. Hello, Dolph.
You look at tan, Drew. I didn't realize it, the last couple days. But that's
I just try to.
I was going to say with the blue hoodie, it is popping a little bit more. I thought the same thing earlier.
Do you have do you rotate like 4 different swimming suits while you're down there, or
no?
you put it in the bathtub and then go and throw that bad boy out in the morning.
Stayed at a place with a washer dryer, so it was I did laundry once while I was there.
That makes it easier.
Then you can travel lighter.
That makes it easier.
You can travel lighter.
Yeah, you can.
Plus, who cares? Like, who am I impressing? I'm in the jungle.
Correct.
That's
Yes.
my point. 100%. I wouldn't do laundry on vacation, though. Yeah. That's my hot take for a week.
Yeah, but you know what's great? The day before you leave, you wash the clothes, you pack them up, and you don't come home with a whole trunk full of dirty clothes.
And no check bag, I'm assuming, right?
No, of course not.
No, that does help, because maybe the worst thing that I do traveling is I then leave that suitcase sitting by the front door for probably a good 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
Closer to a week, 100%.
Classic move right there. I love that.
Here's the thing about going to a tropical location like that is even if you wash your clothes, chances are you might have to wash them again to get the tropical smell out of them.
Yeah, there is that.
It sticks around for a while.
That mildewy, moldy kind of smell of just being damp, although that wasn't as bad in Costa Rica as it has been in other locales. We went on a Sun Bowl once, and like immediately your clothes just picked up the humidity and the smell.
You never know if you're a little bugs travel or something. I'm just washing the whole lot when I get home. That's how I am.
Oh wow, little bugs traveling.
I don't know. I just in the back of my mind worry about it.
They always say leave it. If you travel in January, you get back to town, you can leave it in the garage overnight if it's bitter cold, and that'll kill any bugs.
Well, I didn't think about that. I'm gonna do that from now on.
Just leave it in the garage.
A life hack.
Genius. Yeah, let's go, Dolph. Come on,
amazing.
Out in the yard, whatever.
All right, so Dolph, today we're going to get the international games confirmed for the NFL, and we've just heard that ESPN Game Day, Billy's favorite show, College Game Day.
Yes.
Saturday morning, their season debut. Wait for it. They're going to go see Lane Kiffin at LSU as they host Clemson in the first game.
Oh, that's pretty good for week
one,
right?
It's just like shocker because now he was in Vanity Fair and everybody's talking about the.
He's the flavor of the week. He's the heel of college football in a sport that, frankly, there's enough heels and people try to make the players, mostly of them, that are finally getting some money that they rightfully deserve. But I think the craziest one is it's the 500th show on the road.
Wow.
For College Game Day, and it starts up the 40th season of that show.
Oh my 40? God! It has.
I never would have guessed 40. Wow, that's incredible.
There's no originals left since Corso went away, right?
No originals. Herbie is the longest tenured on it, and then Reese would be right thereafter because Fowler did it for so long before he ended up getting the head job.
Yeah, he was the guy forever and ever and ever, and then they I heard that he felt kind of that kind of railroaded him out of there. I thought I read that one time and said, we'd rather have you do games, Chris.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of liked him more on the game day set than I do on the games. Yeah. However, Reese is just so good at it. He's a Southern gentleman, and it makes it tremendous. But for that show, I still don't know. And as much of McAfee positive as I am, probably way more than anybody else, that's a tough spot for a show that desperately still needed Lee Corso. And to be the guy that has to fill in for the send-off guy of Corso for how much of an institution that was, that's a tough set of shoes to fill because he was a legend.
Well, McAfee likes to dominate conversations. So
that's for
he's
sure.
Going to insert himself in all of those conversations on that show, even with Saban, who sometimes give him a look like, dude, would you just put a sock?
Yeah.
Getting Saban to swear on television, though, that is one of the beauties of that program, to be able to get Saban into his element and have some fun.
What's the week 0 game in Ireland this year? It's not Wisconsin's coming up on that, aren't they? Is that next year?
Next year against Pitt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this year, Dolph, I should have had that on the ready because I do have. We're on the countdown. I have it on the countdown clock on this super sweet app of week 0 on college football.
Because now there's a handful of games on week 0.
We're 108 days away. I probably should have put in the game that was in there instead of just the day.
The 2026 Aer Lingus College Football Classic, TCU against North Carolina.
Oh, we get Belichick.
We get Belichick and hopefully Jordan at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland.
She'll be there.
That'll kick off the week 0. Yeah, sponsored by Aer Lingus.
We're 108 days away from the kickoff of college football, 119 days away from the NFL kickoff on September 9th.
We were there 2 years ago during that week, and I didn't realize they don't even play that game at the big stadium in Dublin, which I believe is called Croke Park.
Yes.
That's where they hold all the big soccer and concerts and stuff. But this stadium that they played in, I think is like 50,000. It's big enough for American college football.
Yeah.
We're watching it at a bar. It was Florida State and Georgia Tech 2 years ago.
Yes.
And I'm sitting next to a local, and he said, "Oh, are you in for the match?" And I said, "Oh," and we're watching. I said, "No, just here to have a good time." And I kind of had to school. They don't get college football over there unless Notre Dame's playing. Then you'll see fans.
That's fair. Yes.
Yeah, they're not into at least American college football. They do know a lot more about the NFL.
I was gonna say that would be like if all of a sudden we got the La Liga come over and play a game in America. Yeah, people might know some of the Premier League teams. We might know one league. Everything else we might struggle with.
Well, remember when they used to have the game at Miller Park? Wasn't it a team from Premier League against a team from Mexico every year?
They had the friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. And there would be some folks that, oh, yeah, that's a good club. That one, I'm not necessarily sure who that one is. But, yeah, that one's good. That one should be fun. That was a great match. Great match.
Yes. If you could go to an international game, where would you go? What venue, especially with the NFL? Like now that they're in Madrid, Australia.
I think I'd go to Germany. That one kind of intrigues me.
The Munich game?
The Munich game would be cool.
Man. And hopefully it's during Oktoberfest so you can double dip.
When we were at the Super Bowl and we were talking about that, people thought, we thought for a while that the Packers would go to Ireland to face the Steelers, it didn't happen. And then it's like, well, they're going to go to Germany next year. That was like the general consensus.
Yeah, it was.
Now it looks like they're going to miss an international.
Well, and it was almost a given that the Bears were going to be going to Madrid because I guess they have a huge presence in Spain. I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? I think they might have marketing rights there. Yep.
Yeah. But it looks like it's not going to happen, which is a good thing. You're looking at the NFL's toughest schedule this year. I think they have, 9 playoff teams, something like that.
Yeah, they're going to get woke up. That's for sure. And I think there's another part of it, like different teams are trying to plant their flags in different spots. I think the Packers coincided with that Dublin announcement of like, oh yeah, we're also going to be one of like the 4 teams that's going to be pumping content into the area to try to prime the pump for whenever they do come. I also think, say some things, I don't necessarily need to go to Paris. I'm interested to see how football gets responded to over in Paris, right? Like, I mean, as much of the different European countries that may or may not like America, I didn't necessarily know Paris was dialed in for American football.
No, I wouldn't. Other than the fact that it's geographically close to England, I don't know if there's much of a presence there. Places like Germany and the United Kingdom obviously are huge places for football. Australia, but I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird one in France. Where did you play when you went over in college? Where were you guys?
We went to Italy. So we went to Italy and we played a international friendly against an all-star quote unquote semi-pro team in Florence. But football was big in Italy, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't gone over to a Rome or something like that, because that would, to me, make even more sense there into the European swing.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Italy, I would agree. Billy, you guys beat them like 58-0. That's how those games.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's not like it was an impressive thing. Like I think I lined up against a guy that was probably in his mid 40s.
Did you feel bad, kind of?
Totally did. Yeah, because he kept saying no kill during the game, and I'm like, brother,
just leave it at played an all-star game. Don't start talking about dudes in their mid 40s.
But it was but it was fun because he bummed me a smoke after. So we had a really, really good time. It was a fun time.
And he took you to school after.
Now I'm thinking about like a prison squad in
Longest Yard,
mismatching uniforms.
Were they chuffing during the huddle?
Oh,
the Italians.
True. It was like the Len Dawson picture from the Super Bowl, because all of a sudden at halftime we're all sitting here, we're getting talked to from our coach. Man, y'all treating this like spring break, coach.
It is.
It is. So we're out. School's over. We're having some fun.
A great educational experience. You probably had cheerleaders with a lot of armpit hair with up there raising.
My man's sitting here on the cooler with 2 smokes, and he's like, "I can't wait for this thing to be over."
Now I remember having that in high school. Like when Greenfield had did you do that too? And they had like an international game, and one of the guys came over and we hung out, and he was like, he took a smoke break. I'm like, wow, we're like 15, brother. And you're like, it's like, yeah, that's just what we do. But it was like a high school all-star thing they had at Greenfield too. So The culture difference is
Are you
wild.
confusing this with the Armenian Olympics that you were in?
No, trust me. That's a very different situation. And I got stories on that, but that'll be for a podcast.
Okay.
Was American football
the
part?
Three Amigos podcast?
The Three Amigos podcast.
I don't know if we'll revive the Three Amigos.
We need to get back to. We need
Armen.
to put the paddles to it. iHeart is in a podcast
they
growth
really
space
are.
right now, and
They
the Three
really are.
Amigos could be
Armen's
dominating
gold
the
medal
space.
performance in the Armenian games.
I was just
you
dominant.
can't overlook it.
I was gonna say that
Amigos.
tennis doubles match.
Yeah,
people
I
still
was
talk
joking.
about it there.
I was killing them at tennis, man. I have medals. You just wait, dude. It was legendary stuff. Those were good days.
All right. So, in terms of bucket list, would you rather go to any college football venue in the states that you've never gone to, or see an NFL game internationally? One or the other. You
Oh,
gotta
I'm
choose
going
today.
college. I'm going college.
I think a lot of
I'm
people
going to the
would.
SEC to someplace. I mean,
Egg Bowl.
yeah,
was
I
gonna-
think the Egg Bowl would be the one. If not the Egg Bowl, maybe just a beautiful October afternoon down in Oxford, walking through the what do they
The
call
Grove.
it?
The Hottie Toddy Grove, yeah, and I'll go and enjoy
I'd
night
go to
one.
the swamp.
I want to go to night one. I want to go to Baton Rouge. I want to go to Tiger
The Swamp.
Stadium
That's a
because
good
that
one.
That would
that
be
night
amazing.
game at LSU is a different
How-
beast.
And then if game day is going to be there and it's Kiffin's first game, it's a built-in story angle. But if they have a
Sure.
chance to have Livy Dunn be the celebrity picker, ratings.
Yeah, that'll definitely work.
And
That'll
Ole-
definitely play.
Ole Miss taking more heat the last couple of days, so maybe they need some people to go in and go to their game and support. I saw Sark said that they take basket weaving there, so Sark threw some.
Oh,
shade at
Sark,
Ole Miss.
yeah, because
Did you
all
see
of
that?
the UT classes are above board, brother.
Yeah, he said that like you need 50% for credits. At Ole Miss, they'll give anyone a degree with their basket weaving. He was throwing shade.
In this day and age, when's the last time you heard anything about graduation rate or team
yeah.
GPA?
I was like, they're still
There's
going
nothing.
to class.
When you go 4 and 8,
Nobody talks. Yeah. No one brings that up
you
anymore.
hear a lot about the
that's so
academic
true.
All-American.
To hear that all the
Yeah.
time when
That's so true.
when
Billy.
announcers would defend coaches with losing records. Well, he graduates his players.
Hey, and that goes for the Big Ten
No
now too.
one.
With nil money, forget about it. You're not going to hear that anymore at all.
No one says that anymore.
Come on,
That's
you
the
gotta
crazy part
graduating kids.
that they even brought that up. I'm like,
They
I
don't
didn't
even-
know you guys are going to class
Do
anymore.
they even like use? Do they even send academic brochures as part of the recruiting packages anymore? Or is it just like manila envelope stuffed with cash?
I was gonna say, well, more than anything, it's like, hey, these are the pit stops you have to make. All right, we gotta make these 3 appearances a week. Wait, are those NIL deals? No, yeah, those are the class ones. those are the class appearances. Those are the ones where we have to save face here.
They used to have recruits meet like department heads and chairs if they're preferred major, right? Didn't
Yeah.
they? Not anymore.
I haven't even thought about that. When was the last time you heard the term academically ineligible?
Yeah, Will had that in the YouTube comments. I don't know. I mean, I think the qualifying score out of high school was the big one. Well, like 10, 20 years ago, like, is he going to make his
Oh, yeah.
grades?
D. Wade.
Community college. Yeah, Prop
Mhm.
48.
Prop
stuff like
48.
that.
D.
That
Wade,
was big.
non-qualifier.
And I still think you have to qualify with the SAT score, right?
SAT or ACT?
score to at least be eligible for college. No, you don't have to anymore. There's no
I
rules.
don't think I don't know that you necessarily have to take the entrance exams anymore.
It's
There's
still
like
a thing.
there's like
yeah,
no
I think they are a thing. I don't necessarily know that it has to be taken for certain ones. I could be
Other-
1,000% wrong. on
Other
that.
than hearing it from Badger fans a lot about academic standards, I haven't heard it much. So
I don't think you're going to hear it anymore, though. Now with nil money and being so big in the Big Ten and everybody just going for the best players available, I don't think you're going to hear that as much.
Yeah, maybe that excuse runs out. I don't know. That's interesting.
Oh, look at you.
No, I'm just asking if it does. I don't know.
Excuse or explanation?
I've heard it from a lot of people.
Has it ever been an
over the
explanation
years.
for Marquette fans?
Well,
or no?
it's harder to get guys in here. I mean, come on. You know how that goes.
Come on, Armen.
I'm not saying
Come
it.
on, take that blue and gold sweater.
I love our
Put
listeners.
that thing on and enjoy it.
1070 man.
I will say though,
I love our
the Badgers
listeners.
made some news with the
Fox Sports
list of folks that are going to be on the hiring committee for the new AD. I'll be a little bit. I was kind of wondering if Chris Ballard would be a guy that would throw his name into the hat instead of on the hiring committee. Because Dolph, you can say a lot about an athletic director at a Division I college. Working for the conference is a better gig, right? The one that Chris McIntosh got is a better gig.
Sure.
I don't necessarily know that if I might be getting fired in the NFL, if I wouldn't have been throwing my name into that hat if I was Chris Ballard.
I mean, you're always looked to be upward mobile, right? I mean, that's a step up. It's similar to what the Bears president did, going from
Kevin Warren. Great
Kevin
point.
Warren, from the commissioner of the Big Ten to president of the Bears.
That's a good call.
You're looking for more money. You're looking for, I don't know if that's more stability, but yeah, that's going to be interesting. The AD job right now is pretty complex, right?
pretty awful.
You do have some help now. You have a general manager, right, that's handling the money side.
And I got to be honest with you, I didn't know that they were going to be hiring a full-time athletic director before they hired a university system or a UW system president and a chancellor.
Right.
But apparently that looks like what they're leaning towards.
Which one draws more revenue?
Oh, hey,
it's vital
fair.
to the operation.
Yeah, fair. AD, good point.
Get the cash flow.
Yeah, that's fair.
They have an interim president right now that came from the smallest university, UW Superior.
Mm-hmm.
She's running the
Go Yellow
whole thing right
Jackets.
now. Is that what it is?
It used to be. I think it is. The guy I knew used to coach there, but that's the only thing I knew.
That'd be too cold for bees up there.
Right, you would think. Am I
yeah.
right, Billy? Is it Yellow Jackets? You would think though the red tape to get
mascot is Buzz the Yellow Jacket.
Wow.
You better believe it.
Come on, Buzz.
Armen, sorry,
Armen.
don't doubt Armen. Sorry.
How about River Falls?
No idea.
Falcons.
They
Come on
just
now.
won the
National
national championship.
I know, but I don't have the shirt and everything. I'm sorry. I should get one.
Oh, that's fair. If they send you one, then you'll figure it out.
Like I said, I only knew Yellow Jackets. I knew someone coaching there. River Falls has done a heck of a job. Though.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
The guy just went went to Drake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And just got the quarterback at Arrowhead. No one's counting on.
Wow.
Come on now.
Well, it's a powerhouse.
Slinging the ball, rocking over there for the Drake
Love
Bulldogs.
Dolph, thank you for popping by. Halftime of the week. It's always good to see you at halftime of the show, but this is halftime of the week.
Yeah.
We're over the hump for us now. We're over
Love
the
it.
hump moving forward. It's continue to take your hot takes, and we're an hour away roughly from catching up with Bill Schroeder from Brewers TV. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Armen's on a kick right now.
Wow. Okay.
Well, you know,
I'm throwing it way back
the
now.
Frankie Valley went over so well yesterday. I figured I'd try again. You know, it's
Going to the well again, huh?
went to the well again with a little bit more. So tonight.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
This one just doesn't hit the same as
December. Oh, what
December.
a night.
Oh, what a night.
Yeah,
It
I
just
guess
does
you're
not
right.
hit the same.
So it's about the songs. Okay, that's why I try different things here in the 6 o'clock.
I like that you're experimenting.
Yeah,
Now,
I
I think
got
maybe
to.
the experimental hour might want to be the 5 o'clock hour.
That's fair. That's fair, actually.
But I
That's
like
safe
you
harbor.
take. Listen, I like you taking a swing though.
Yeah. Well, I have to take some.
You got to get up into that batter's box, and as
mean-
many whiffs as you have. Listen, at some point you're going to hit your Joey Ortiz moment. You're going to have your first homer of the year.
If Joey never swung, he wouldn't have that one homer. You know, and he's trying to be like Williams. So am I. So, you know.
Be like Bill.
Bill like Bill, I should say. Yes.
Be like Bill. 877-794-1973. Continuing hot take, hump take. Get us your hot takes on any topic, be it about snack foods or just about anything else.
We did have a food one I saw. It was what food would you give up for a three-peat for your team's your favorite team to get a three-peat championship? I'm gonna get the text line. Who
Beets. Pickled beets. How about I'd give up beets?
Well, is that one of your favorite foods?
No.
Give up one of your favorite foods.
Favorite food.
608. I mean, I will give up anything. I mean, as much as I
Anything?
love food, as much as I love certain foods, and you know, you can take whatever you want, pickles, obviously. If my favorite team, I could guarantee a three-peat, I'm probably giving that up the rest of my life. Like, I'll remember what it tastes like. I'll do it.
Never eat pizza again?
Yeah, but that's tough, right? I mean, that's very tough.
That's the question.
That's the question.
I'll do it. I will do it. Even though it would be, I might regret it in 20 years when the three-peats worn off and I'm sitting around retired waiting for a pizza. Hopefully retired one day, God willing.
Hopefully.
You know what I
Good
mean?
luck.
In this, but I might want a pizza, but you know, if it's just me, right? Here's my thing. If I'm doing that, I want everybody to know about it, though. I want that to be big news. This guy gave up this selflessly.
Oh, so you want credit is what it is.
I want Brewers fans, Packer fans, whatever team I pick, which I haven't decided yet, to make statues of me saying he's the reason.
Statues?
Yeah, because I'd be the greatest. I mean, my sacrifice should be the reason that they're enjoying championships, right? So don't you think I deserve something for that? A statue maybe is too much, but something.
No, I'm trying to land in. Can we make this the Wake and Bake story of the day? Brought to you by Happy Place Hemp and
We absolutely can. Let's go.
All right. Promo code Huddle, 25% off. Use that at happyplacehemp.com and enjoy. So in this hypothetical,
yes,
you are placing potentially more credit onto your very large and broad shoulders than any of the athletes that have been playing in the game. It's because of my sacrifice, not because of said generational, maybe greatest player of one of those organizations that would lead us to the promised land of that three-peat.
Yes, because in said hypothetical, the deal is the reason that we're winning 3 championships is because I'm making the sacrifice. Isn't that what he's saying?
Now, if you want to have
players
this
have to
kind
do
of thought
something.
and this kind of fun, this kind of enjoyment, promo code Huddle.
Come on now.
Get as many of the 20 milligram drift gummies as you possibly can. And then you might be able to get in on this level, Drew, where you can put yourself into that spot. That's an awesome Wake and Bake fire out.
I'm sorry. If I'm the reason, which in that theory it is.
This
I
happened to
want
you in a
credit.
dream or something?
No.
Because you told us yesterday about the dream where Giannis was playing in Charlotte.
Terrible dream for me.
And now we got the dream of Armen and dreaming up statues of himself or outside of American Family Field or outside of Fiserv Forum.
Where my mind went, I mean, I'm making the sacrifice. In this hypothetical,
Sure.
it would be everybody's individual sacrifice to give up their food. And it's like, well, everybody better know that you're enjoying these titles, these parades, these parties, you know, because of me. All right, these banner nights, because I am not eating pizza anymore, whatever you want to pick. Yeah, I think I think it should, as long as people knew about it. Yeah.
Man, I'm seeing it now, Drew.
I'm doing this as an ego thing.
Seeing it now. You're walking into the gorgeous Miller High Life atrium at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
Curly Lambeau. Vince Lombardi. Armen. I mean, like, how on earth does it get any better than that?
That's
You
going to be quite a
scream
bust.
Green Bay football. That's what you said.
We are waking and baking for this one, man. HappyPlaceHemp.com, code Huddle, 25% off free shipping. Get you some Drift Seltzer. They're going to ship it for free with the code.
Yeah, that might not even be a
aren't
seltzer.
light.
You might have to hit one of them pre-rolls and you're firing up a story like that.
Yeah, pet products. I love this. This is too funny, Armen.
Just the way I thought of it. I
Give
don't
me
know.
a damn statue.
I want it
It's
all.
because of my sacrifice. I did
pizza. No pizza. I love it. Oh my God. Bill Schroeder is going to join the party just
Love
about a
this
half
guy,
hour
man.
from right now. We'll talk to Rock about everything that's been taking place. Good stuff happening at American Family Field, including Bark at the Park night. Billy Schmidt was there. We'll both be there tonight.
Can't wait.
Brewers Padres game 2. The final hour of the Huddle is next. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. We start at AmFam where the Brewers' winning streak hits 5.
Oh, Joey Ortiz, yes! He goes deep to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead.
Final score last night, 6-4. The Brewers with the win over the Padres. Same two teams again tonight. Jacob Mizorowski will pitch against Michael King. The NBA has concluded that the Bucks will not face any sanctions over shutting down Giannis Antetokounmpo at the end of last season. The league was looking into the matter after Giannis said repeatedly he was healthy enough to play. The University of Wisconsin has formally announced its athletic director search committee. Among those tasked with choosing Chris McIntosh's successor, athletic department legends Michael Finley and Megan Duggan, along with current Indianapolis Colts general manager Chris Ballard, former Badgers wide receiver. One game in the NBA playoffs last night, the Spurs beat the Timberwolves 126-97. San Antonio up 3-2 in the series. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill Schroeder for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 jet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
Armen, Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Continuing the Wednesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, worldwide on the iHeart app, as well as Facebook, X, and the YouTubes. Drew, Billy, and Armen were just contemplating that Armen Sarian statue.
Yeah, figuring out where we're going to put it out here, Drew. I mean, we got a lot of places here at the Megaplex where he probably deserves one.
Should it be here? Oh, is that what you're saying? Put it out here at that station? Because I had that my idea for MVP Park for years. To have a statue park in Milwaukee.
And you'd be the first one?
Well, I don't know if I'd be the
there
first.
We go.
But
That's what I'm talking about. Come on now. I love this main character syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's fire it up right out of the gate.
608 brought it up. And it was a great question on Hot Take Hump Day. If you could give up,
would you give up your favorite food
for 3 in a row?
For a three-peat, for 3 years of not eating your favorite food? That's a small sacrifice.
I was going to say, now hold on. Rest of your life or 3 years?
No, rest of your life, I believe he said.
Oh, he did?
Okay. Because I was going to say, if it's just a 3-year period, then it's not tough at all. Then I mean, that just sounds like a diet. That sounds like
lifetime, yes.
That sounds like something I might need to do.
877-794-1973. Like, when it comes to pizza, cheeseburger is my favorite food.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten enough cheeseburgers that I'll always remember what they're like. Would I miss them? Yeah. Sure.
Remember what they're like. That's my position.
Yeah. Austin and Spring Grove, 877-794-1973. I'd give up smoking meat for 3 years for a three-peat. It would hurt, but it's worth it.
Yeah, that'd be tough though, Austin, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be tough not going out onto the smoker, firing that bad boy up and throwing a big old pork shoulder on there? That'd be tough.
Oh, sorry, you said pork.
Yeah,
sorry.
Close. But beef ribs or something.
He can't smoke it himself or eat smoke. No, that's different. If I could still go and eat someone else's,
90% of the fun is
the smoking,
is the actual process.
Yeah,
there's a big part of that, and people, knowing people are eating your meat.
Pause, but you're correct. You're absolutely correct.
That's the goal of it.
Yeah.
Dustin, our friend, said he's already got a statue. That's what I'm talking about, Dustin. Okay, he's already built one.
You got a statue, Dustin? Congrats. I'd love to see a picture of that.
Danny P in the shot. Is Armen equating himself to Jesus? talking about these sacrifices for people? Is this real? This would be a great topic for the Three Amigos podcast. I think we should.
I never equated myself to Jesus. No, come on.
No, but I mean, you are talking about your sacrifice and making sure that people remember it for years and decades and generations upon end.
I think it's worth remembering if one man took a sacrifice to get those titles for everybody else. Remember, it's not just me that would enjoy the championships, you know?
It's true. Chris in the Bend has a one for you, though. Here's a hypothetical. What would be better, a three-peat from the team of your choice or one championship each from the Packers, Brewers, and Bucks in the same calendar year?
Man, I love this. I love this one.
So I think the 3-in-1 year would be the best, because then you would know that. But I can't say that one, Drew, because again, media does start with me. And then that very selfishly would take away one of the great evergreen topics for us to do all of June and July of would you have traded one of those 3 titles for the Bucks, Brewers, or Packers for insert other team to win a title here.
That's right, Billy. That's so true. We wouldn't have that topic. But think how much fun that year would be. The Grand Slam of Championships, have 3 in 1 year, 3 parades, 3 celebrations, 3 I mean, that would be the greatest year ever of our lives. We'd be talking about it forever. We would call it we would just make documentaries about it, the memories. They'd be talking about that year forever. I think I'm taking the 1 year, man.
It'd never get better, though.
That's the other problem. You reach the pinnacle. It's like, all right, that's it. Like, we can still enjoy sports, try and win again, but it ain't gonna get better than that. 3 in 1 year.
Be pretty amazing.
Wouldn't that be quite a year?
Just spinning through the socials, and I saw that 7 hours ago or so, Giannis posted pictures of the family trip to the zoo.
Hanging out at the zoo, yeah. Some good pictures. That's a great billboard there.
Pictures of the fam, and like that one, greetings from Milwaukee Zoo, looks like a postcard that they're posing in front of. He and Mariah and the four kids having some fun, chilling. I saw people posting pictures of them like, hey, Giannis is here, but I'm not going to bug him.
Right.
And he retweets those and says, thank you, for respecting his privacy. And like, Giannis, we want you to stay, but we're prepared for your departure. And, it is his downtime. But doesn't this make you think like they're up in Appleton eating ice cream? They're checking out as much of Milwaukee as they can in their last months.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Drew. I thought like you could use it on both ends. Like one is like he's walking around saying, "Man, look at how great this is. I'm not gonna be
my
able
city.
I'm never gonna be able to do this if I go to Boston. I'll never be able to do this. I went to New York." Or it is, I am gonna make sure I hit all of the last stops before these kids go and experience something else, and then they can remember it when we come back here in 15 years. I saw it more of the latter, but if there's anything that would make you feel a little bit more envious and sentimental of what you had, I would think those moments would be the times where he's like, wow, this is kind of nice. The grass might not always be greener wherever I end up going.
It'll never be like that again anywhere else. And the duality of man, how you see the same situation from two perspectives. I definitely saw it the first way. I saw it as like, man, this doesn't seem like a guy that wants to leave or is going to appreciate leaving.
Why wouldn't he already be gone, like to Greece or something, or like you would think he'd be.
He's in town for a reason, and it's like, okay, for all the talk about where his kids are in school, it's like he sure seems like a regular guy that's enjoying the state in the summer, like the rest of us. And that's precisely what he always said he loved about Milwaukee, was that he was not bothered. He could become a regular guy. His family felt safe, all those things that in a lot of ways are priceless, right? I mean, to be able to live that life and not be bothered and stuff like that. But it's interesting that the other way you can look at it is like, well, I'm going to soak it up now because this might be it. This might be our last summer in town, all this stuff. It's also interesting for me to think whatever happens in the rest of his basketball career, will one day he have a presence in Milwaukee? Maybe not a permanent home, maybe not live here permanently, but keep a home here or keep a presence in Milwaukee. Look at it as his second home forever. Is he going to treat the city like that? Because I think most of his career, we felt like he probably would. Right. So that's something for down the road, maybe, but it's something that crossed my mind as well.
I don't think you're off base on that, Armen. Like I don't think it's outlandish to think so. Right. Because like at some point you're going to want to go where everybody knows your name, as the song would say. But you also want to go somewhere that like he's going to have made enough money that he's not going to need to go broadcast games or anything.
Sure.
But if there's anywhere that he would potentially want to, or that it would work, it would be here. Like I don't think you're completely out of bounds thinking that he would have some kind of presence here. I think he would want to.
I do think that's something that matters to
or
fans.
Something in the basketball operations
something involved. Like I do think that's something that matters to fans a lot. that we don't talk about a lot is that if you have said legend in your town, is he going to remain a factor or a presence for years to come? I think that's one thing Michael Jordan, I think about a lot, was the supernova star of all stars, but basically has no presence anymore in Chicago. Does that bother Bulls fans? Does it not? Do they care or not? I think they'd like to have him in town more, or at least a factor. Maybe not as, you don't have to be GM of the Bulls, but just to be a guy that said, I still enjoy my legacy, enjoy Chicago, and enjoy those memories, not just say, thanks for everything, I'm never coming back.
Does it bother you that, well, Sterling Sharp said he's never coming back.
Well, that's different.
At his moment. But what about Favre? He's not exactly a presence. I mean, he comes back and does some signings, but
right, he's not
a thought.
Well, and this is the other part. It bothers Armen. It might not bother
normal people.
A lot of other fans.
That's totally fair. I'm speaking like, are there fans like me that think that? Maybe not. Maybe it's a vast majority don't. I think there are more than not, though, that might think about that. But then again, I'm biased on my own opinion, to think that some people care about stuff like that. Or is it just we care about what you did here? Thanks for
projecting
everything.
your feelings onto others.
Well, we do that in life.
Hit that bell. Hit that bell.
Well, we all do that in life a little bit, don't we?
Well, you literally just answered it by projecting again the answer on more people.
How many Celtics fans do you think wish Larry Bird was their guy, not the Pacers guy?
I don't necessarily know that it matters to too many of them. However, like if we bring this to a Brewer side of it, does it bother you that you don't see Robin Yount every single time? But he found his way back. He ended up being a bench coach at one point. Like he has remained very Milwaukee positive. Well, that would be the case.
And he shows up a lot, I would say. He's around. I mean, he's around Milwaukee. And
obviously, doesn't make it his living permanent spot. He said that very cleanly on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Are you going to see me a whole lot more? Maybe not. But just know you're always right here.
Always.
You're always right here.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't expect him to like Giannis to live his days in Wisconsin. But
Armen wants all Wisconsin athletes, especially like higher up on the food chain, to be like AJ Dillon.
Well, and he has a connection. Obviously, he's married to someone in Wisconsin, but just the idea that like I cared about being here and I enjoyed it as much as you might think I did. I don't know. I think it matters to some fans.
AJ Dillon gets more coverage than any current Packer during the offseason.
That's pretty true.
He's going to be breaking cards with Luke Combs.
Yeah, breaking cards with Luke Combs, playing pickleball.
By the way, they're getting Lambeau ready for Luke Combs the weekend here.
I do have a little bit of FOMO not going to that. I bet that's going to be a raucous
Jocko
crowd.
posted he's got an extra ticket if you want to go.
Oh, come on, Jocko. That's what I'm talking about.
In the pit.
I don't know that I could go to a concert with Jocko because I'd be so much less cool than him.
That's true.
As self-conscious as I might have to be, I don't know that I could go to a place with someone that's got far better hair than I do.
That's a good point.
That would be a tough thing for my ego to take.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Billy, time to do a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Who do you got for Who's Hot and Who's Not?
So a couple of opportunities. Now, definitely hot category yesterday. Paul Skeens took a no-hitter into the seventh inning again, as he is unreal in night games so far, and just unreal in general. And frankly, might be somebody that you might have. It seems like they might have some staying power. Who's also hot? Kyle Schwarber has homered in his last 5 games. And Victor Wembanyama was very much hot last night after being in the hot category for a different reason earlier in the week. Drew, no elbows thrown, 33 minutes, 27 points, 17 boards. Also 5 assists and 3 blocks from Wemby last night as his Spurs roll through the Minnesota Timberwolves and make that series a 3-2 lead. I'm going to put Brandon Sproat in the hot category for winning his first game as a Brewer yesterday, getting his first decision, his first W, but also in the month of May. Now, granted, I get it. 2 starts, small sample size here. 9 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits given up, 3 runs all earned. They were all in last night's start, but that's 11 Ks through 9+ innings and an ERA for the month of under 3. It's hard to start out at a 21 earned run average and bring that son of a gun down to a respectable spot. But Drew, by the middle of May, he's sitting there right at a 5, and it could be a lot worse. Seems like he's really starting to figure some stuff out.
Settling it in. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to Rock about that.
Put into the not category, your boy Matt Waldron last night for the San Diego Padres. Not only because he was 2 2/3 and gave up 6 earnings on the 8 hits. My man was struggling when he got that bunt. You could tell everything was starting to crater in on him, and then when David Hamilton decided that he was going to lay that thing down right in front of home plate, Waldron goes and thinks he's going to get the lead runner at third, and then has to go turn over, pivot to Hamilton. not category for the young man that gave up the small market rally last night to the Brewers in their 6-4 W.
Yeah, and to his maybe he thought he was making the right play. I think he thought he was making the right play in the middle of it, and then turned around and realized that Hamilton is super fast, and that ain't gonna work. Like maybe against most guys, you could do the quick check over and then throw to first in time still, but it definitely didn't work last night for him. So patented Brewers rally, like you guys said. Yeah.
Small market, woodpeckers, paper cuts.
As many as you need. We'll take them.
All adds up. It all adds up.
And in the not category for who's hot, who's not had been Shohei Ohtani. Now he got back on track with the homer last night, but he was 4 for 31, Drew. Holy cow, 4 for 31?
31.
Oh my goodness.
Like 10 punch outs.
They were sounding the alarms and asking Dave Roberts, what are you going to do with this guy? He's like, I think we might have to give him a day off.
He starts to chase a little bit. His balance is off, but then he finds it. Like I said, he was off. When Shohei takes BP on the field, that's when he's really searching for it, because he doesn't usually hit on the field.
Sure.
And then he did, like I remember he did in the playoffs. He wasn't feeling good, went and hit on the field, and then hit 3 home runs against the Brewers.
Yeah, and then hit 3 bombs and then closed out.
Yeah.
Like there are certain guys that are beautiful to watch execute their toil. And Steph Curry in pregame would be one of those guys. I would pay big money to sit in a recliner right behind the cage and just watch Shohei Ohtani take BP.
Yeah,
that would be a next level experience for a sports.
And in the not category, guys that were great last year, Cal Raleigh was in an over 38 that finally got snapped. I mean, really, really bad. Showered with his entire clothes on. That was his entire key to success, to wash up the bad mojo. Have you guys ever done anything like that? I think that was like no one had been talking about Cal Raleigh.
I've jumped in the pool with my clothes on before.
That
I did after a buddy's wedding, and my tux, my rented tux. Everybody was in the pool.
Love that.
Tuxes and bridesmaids dresses. Everybody.
That is
in the
awesome.
Pool. Cook that sucker back, reeking of chlorine.
That's all.
Better than when I took the suit bag with dripping a fondue, because my buddy thought that would be a fun thing. Here, catch this chocolate sauce.
Yeah, you know how I feel about tux rental, so I'm very happy you did that.
Armen, the biggest scam that there is.
Racket.
Also, one final one for who's hot, who's not in Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, the best around, and they do HVAC. They do HVAC better than anybody else because they do it consistently. How about former Brewer? Let's throw him in here. And I'll pour one out. Eric Haas still playing Major League Baseball and hit 2 bombs last night at Dodger Stadium. First giant catcher to ever hit 2 bombs at Dodger Stadium. So congratulations, Eric Haas.
Yeah, gotta love that. And first-year manager Tony Vitello saying that he's the next Jake Taylor. He's like, this might be Major League 4.
I love that.
Major League 4.
Because he's totally Jake Taylor, straight from the Mexican League.
You make a reference to Major League, you know I'm here for it anytime.
Armen's digging that.
Oh yeah.
We also, shout out Donovan Jorgensen, but we also, our superhero of the day, I'm thinking brought to us by Current Electric. I think that might have to be Jason Collins.
Yeah, and Jason Collins passed away yesterday with a long battle with brain cancer, and he was the first openly gay NBA player. Now, I had a couple of very, very nice run-ins with Jason Collins when he was a guy on the Hawks, and I was just a nobody ball kid. Just treated everybody with immense respect, and a very, very sweet man. Just a horrifying disease. And Ramona Shelburne put together a very cool piece yesterday and a really, really good statement. She knew Jason Collins very well, but passed away yesterday, age of 49. That's far too young to be losing people. And we lose way too many people every single day from cancer. And there's people that battling it amongst us. There's people that are fighting it every single day at all these hospitals and finding more information and new cures and everything. But, man, it affects everybody, and it does not matter your sexual orientation, your race, your gender, your economic class, wherever you are. That disease does not discriminate, and it took one far too early yesterday in Jason Collins.
When I heard that, and then I heard ABC Nightly News talk about Brandon Clark from the Grizzlies passing
29 years old, man.
Overdose. My wife's like, another NBA guy passed? Like, that's, Jim McElvain's told us about big guys having a short life expectancy, and he's trying to guard against that. But and a lot of guys struggle with their weight and things like that. Yeah. But man, to lose 2 guys like that is strange. I mean, granted, you get past your playing days in your upper 40s, early 50s. You can get anybody, cancer especially. But Brandon Clark looks like it might have been an overdose at 29, an active player.
Active player,
young, and that's on the same day. It's both young. Terrible. Yeah, terrible. But yeah, Jason Collins gets that superhero nod for me.
Yeah, and again, just certain individuals that have a an impact for no apparent reason that you remember. Just an incredible run and a hell of a life lived from Jason Collins. 13 NBA seasons as well. Current Electric, call current.com. Information on EV chargers. Most importantly, your outdoor lighting package. Guys, figure that out. You want your backyard to be the envy of the neighborhood. Current Electric going to save you some money, $150 back in your pocket. You can save that on the month of May on one of their outdoor lighting packages. Go to callcurrent.com, Drew.
Very well played. When we come back, we'll wake up Bill Schroeder.
Come on, Rock.
From Brewers TV. They're rolling right now. Brew Crew's on a roll. 5 in a row heading into tonight with Miz on the mound. Bill Schroeder joins us next. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this Wednesday in the good land. Bill Schroeder going to join us momentarily from Brewers TV, but Brewers getting good news on the injury front. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. The injury report, the list is getting shorter with Christian Yelich returning, Brandon Woodruff starting to throw some bullpens, Quinn Priester starting to come off. It looks like the Brewers are getting a little healthier after weathering the storm. But if you have any injury issues at all, someone in your family gets hurt playing a sport, you're a weekend warrior, avail yourself of the services at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. OrthoWisconsin.com is the website. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. And Billy, it's like I'm past my 2-year anniversary of my artificial hip, which was installed by Dr. Matthew Bong.
He knows what he's doing, man. They know what they're doing there.
Knee, hip, ankle, neck, back, elbow, wrist, whatever problems you may have, check out our friends at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
And don't be like my man Drew and walk around here and limp
make
like everybody feel
for
terrible watching you suffer in pain. Go and get that thing taken care of.
Exactly. Nobody's building a statue to me. Maybe for Bill Schroeder from Brewers TV, who joins us now on the Talk and Text line. Rock, good morning. How was Bark at the Park night last night?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I wasn't working. I'm not doing the series. I was watching on TV. They had a lot of dogs on. It was pretty entertaining. It was pretty good. Vinny and Jeff were pretty good with some of their lines last night.
When the doorbells start getting the dogs howling in the middle of the third inning, I don't know if that woke up the rally, but whatever you need to get the bats going. I know the animals in the clubhouse used to be a thing, Rock, for a Joe Madden team, but you bring dogs into the second level, maybe you wake some offense up in the 9-hole.
Yeah, how about Joey? Maybe it should be every day should be Bark at the Park day. Joey with the home run, another hit, and yeah, it's good for him, man. I mean, you root for Joey. He's been scuffling at the plate, but I'll tell you, his defense is why he's able to stay in the game, stay in the lineup all the time. Just incredible defense by Joey. But good for him last night with the bat.
He's one of those. I know fans get mad at him because he seems like he comes up with a base load all the time, but he seems like one of those guys who's a good teammate. And that reaction last night to his homer was real. You don't fake that. Guys were happy for him because he's a defender.
Yeah, he's working hard. I mean, look. I mean, this is a results-oriented business, and everybody, has their opinion on things. But he does work at it. I mean, Eric Pete, and he's working hard with him every single day. He and Vogelback, and it's good that he's able to come through in last night's game. So Brewers are playing really good right now. I was sitting here, I go online and I watch some of this stuff from MLB, and they have the power rankings. The power rankings come out. I don't know how often it happens, but the Brewers are 5th in the power rankings right now. I don't really put a whole lot of stock into stuff like that unless it's really good for the Brewers that I talk about it. But the power rankings are 5th. I think they're right behind. The Cubs are ahead of them, but hey, they're playing great ball, and it's really good now that Murph has his full complement of offensive players now for the first time all year. And who knows? I mean, it's going to be a tough schedule in May. Coming up, but or throughout the rest of this month. But we'll see how it all works out.
Pick a good time to start playing better, Rock. And you mentioned it of where they'll rank amongst baseball. Their run differential's really, really good. I know the wins and losses may not be exactly what some people had hoped for or dreamed of, but man, when you start winning 10 of 13, it can jump on you quick. You mentioned the full offense being back. Just how much of that is the production and what happens in the locker room? Because we talked about it before. Listen, Yelich, he's so different when he's active and being able to be a part of it.
Well, when your leader is on the injured list, I mean, it just doesn't have that same appeal. It doesn't have that same impact. But now all of a sudden you've got Vaughn back, you've got Churio back, you got Yelich back. I mean, that's just going to make everybody relax a little bit more. It's going to strengthen the lineup for sure. I mean, that's obvious. But you know what it also does? It strengthens your bench too. When your bench players are expected to be productive on a daily basis, that puts a lot of pressure on them. They're not expected to do that. And when you ask them to do that, I mean, that's pressure. And then, when your bench players are in the starting lineup, then your bench is weaker as well. So I think it just helps everything. I think that the pitchers are going to relax now. I think they're going to be able to score a few more runs. And where the Brewers are right now is basically because of their pitching and how good it has been. I mean, bullpen and starting rotation. How about Sproat yesterday? I mean, that guy, he's got some nasty stuff out there. I mean, it's the way it comes out of his hand, it'll cut, it'll sink, and then you got Ashby coming out of the bullpen. I mean, it's been great. And then today you got the Miz. I mean, how much better can it get when you have Miz on the mound? I mean, I'm amazed that this ballpark isn't filled up every time he pitches, and it's pretty close anyway. But he's something else. I mean, he's on a next level.
Yeah, talking to Bill Schroeder, Brewers TV. That game against the Yankees, Rock, I was watching it from Costa Rica when watching your show in Costa Rica when Miz was mowing down the Yankees. That was impressive, man. That for him to do that, there's always extra juice when the Yankees come to town. We talked about it on Monday. There just is. It just is. No matter who's in the uniform.
Who would have thought that they would have swept? A little bit of a payback from last year, right? I mean, the way the season started a year ago.
That's what Armen said.
That's a big deal, right. I mean, they just got taken apart at Yankee Stadium, but it was great. I mean, all three games were great. The pitching was phenomenal. The bullpen, I mean, very timely, opportunistic offensively, and with Terang with the big home run. How about that guy? I mean, I tell you, this guy's going to make a heck of a lot of money at some point in his career. So just enjoy what's going on out there right now with the Brewers. I mean, now that they're fully healthy, you're going to be getting Priester back. He's going on a rehab assignment, so everything is looking up for these guys.
We talked about Bark at the Park night being good for Joey O, but Rock, like the rally came yesterday with Matt Arnold dropping in. You get the homer like there. It's like, what's Matt Arnold's record of generating runs when he drops into the booth with you guys?
Yeah, he doesn't really like going on the air too much with us, but I don't think it's personal, but he keeps things pretty close to the vest. I mean, he has done such a spectacular job, since he's taken over the reins as president of baseball operations. I mean, think about all the moves that he has made, and there aren't too many, that haven't worked out. I mean, he works on a shoestring budget pretty much. I mean, and he's able to get guys, and then he bring them in, and especially pitching with Chris Hook and Jim Henderson, and those guys get their claws into them. I mean, they become bona fide big leaguers. And, so Matty comes on, I know that he's kind of uncomfortable with it because he doesn't like talking too much about what he has been doing and talking about himself, but he's been phenomenal, really phenomenal.
Well, phenomenal, and he seems like he's a little bit easier and likes to get the microphone. You guys getting to talk with CeCe this weekend and getting to honor him.
Yeah.
Rock, how cool is it to think of what a launching pad that 2008 trade season ultimately was for the organization? I mean, you were calling the games before that when you were our entertainment, and we appreciated you a lot more. You got to know how much we appreciated you at that point, Rock. Giving us something to watch.
Yeah.
But now for the last 20 years, man, it's been incredible, and it all feels like it started in 08.
It's not a comedy act anymore, right? Back in the old days, it was me and Vescursion and, Darren Sutton, and we had Bob Brainerd, doing some goofy stuff, and, the Buckethead Brigade.
I still got my Buckethead somewhere. My parents, it's in my parents' basement somewhere, just so you know, I still have it somewhere in there.
Yeah, by the way, I have a whole box of those T-shirts, but I can't even give them away. I think I waxed my car with them, but anyway.
Try eBay.
But ever since CeCe came around, and I mean, things were going pretty well, in 08, before that. But, when he came in early in July and, put together an 11-2 record and earned run average just a little over 1, I mean, it was a difference maker. And I think that when he walked into that clubhouse, it gave everybody the confidence that, hey, this organization now, they want to win. And ever since that time, it's been onward and upward, and you just hope that at some point Brewers are going to be able to get that brass ring and get into the World Series. But I like their chances this year. The Cubs are tough. The division is really good this year. So we'll see. That Yankee series said a lot about the makeup of these guys and what they expect and what Murph expects out of them. And it's been a blast ever since CC came walking through that service level, and we had a camera on him, and things have changed for this organization in a big way.
I saw people from other markets, I think Cincinnati, maybe even Chicago, they're like, Brewers are putting him on a wall of honor. What are they doing? He pitched like 15 games. Like, you weren't here, man. You don't know the impact. How they don't make the playoffs without him, and how heroic he was taking the ball 3 days rest, going into free agency, risking his arm and his health to carry the team to the playoffs. It was absurd. I mean, no players had more of an impact in a short time than CC Sabathia in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and how many guys would go 3 days rest in their free agent season? And not only did he was able to get through that, but I think it really increased his value as a guy he's selfless. I mean, he wants to win, and he understood how important it was for him to get out there on the mound. The only regret that I have is that he didn't have that no hitter in Pittsburgh. I still get upset about that. You remember that, Drew?
Yep.
I mean, that little comebacker to him that went off his glove and the official score. Andy LaRoche gets a little comebacker and it goes off his glove. The only hit they got in that game, and that still burns me a little bit. But anyway, he remembered, and I mentioned it to him when we were off air. I said, "Do you remember that game in Pittsburgh?" I said, "Yep, Andy LaRoche. I should have had it. It was an error." So guys don't forget that kind of stuff. But he's such a class act. He works for Major League Baseball now as an ambassador. He goes around to different teams and has chats with them. I'm sure that there's a lot to talk about with respect to the union and the deal that I hope that they're going to be able to put together before next season. But CC Sabathia is one of the classiest guys that you'll ever meet. And Dave Parker, he had a presence as well. Dave Parker and Dave Winfield, I think in my mind, when they came into a room, I mean, they commanded presence. They commanded the room, and no two guys I can recall had more. You showed more respect to those guys than those two.
Yeah. Was Dave Winfield one of the best athletes you ever saw? I mean, just from like
no doubt,
the sheer one of the most incredible specimens you ever see.
Yeah, I mean, he was drafted by how many different, sports organizations? I think, the the NBA and all this kind of stuff. But I played 2 years with Winfield in Anaheim, and what a presence he was, how good he was. It was toward the end of his career, but still, he was still the man, and. I had the great fortune of playing with some real big dude, Molitor and Yount and Bert Blyleven. I put him in that class too. But Winfield, I'll tell you, there's not too many like him.
He was drafted by 4 teams in 3 different sports. How about that?
That's pretty good.
Twice in baseball,
right.
Atlanta Hawks in the 5th round of the NBA draft and ABA draft, and he was selected by the Vikings in the NFL draft and never played college football. So there you go.
Yeah, that's
he's a Minnesota guy too, I mean,
he's a gopher.
Molitor, Minnesota, So it's I'm looking forward to getting up to the Twin Cities. This is going to be one of two road trips for me this year. Going to Minnesota. Kate likes to get back home. She grew up in St. Paul, and then at the end of the year, I'm heading out to Philadelphia, and that's kind of close to my old stomping grounds in New Jersey, and
that's your spot.
It's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite all-time road ballparks. The energy in that ballpark, the cheesesteaks.
That's so good.
So I'm looking forward to that.
The ice cream, the cheesesteaks, it's all there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Rock, you mentioned the commanding presence of Dave Winfield. We just saw Judge over the weekend, and for a lot of people in Milwaukee, that's the first time they saw him in person. We got plenty of Ohtani last year, but when you see those guys, your jaw drops at how big they are and how good they are, and it's just not the same seeing them on TV as it is in person, is it?
They got some pretty big dudes on that team. I mean, Jones. I mean, he's right there with them. I mean, the Brewers were able to handle that lineup like crazy, right? I mean, the Yankees weren't able to score too many runs, and they came in on a hot streak. And I remember the first time I ever saw Aaron Judge. We were going into Yankee Stadium, just got off the bus, and we walked into the stands, and he's in the batting cage. And I swear to you, it looked as though his helmet was scraping the top of the batting cage. It was like a giant in the batting cage. And And not only is he a great athlete, he's got. You saw that throw that he made, in the 10th inning the other night. I mean, he's got a terrific arm. He's got great, skills in the outfield, and more importantly, he's a great person. I mean, he has time for everybody. I remember Don was talking to him the other, one of those days that they were in town. And he has time for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. He'll sit you down. He'll look you in the eye, and he'll have a nice conversation with him. So not only is he a great athlete, but he's a good human being.
That's pretty cool. Rock, I know you don't spend a lot of time on social media, but your boy Plesac posted something that cracked me up.
Come on.
With Aaron Ashby leading the world in wins right now. Plesac posted a picture of himself in a Brewers uniform as a vulture, talking about 86 when he vultured 7 wins.
They used to call Jim Slayton the vulture too back in the day when I first got called up. He had like 10, 11 wins out of the bullpen.
Sack got 10 wins in 86, and he self-proclaimed that he was the vulture, and he's welcoming Aaron Ashby to the club.
I'll tell you, he's one of the great ones too. Plesac, I love the guy. He's fantastic.
I'm going to text this thing to you because it just made me laugh my ass off.
That is so good.
Plesac, somebody had to do it.
Tolbert's got nothing on him,
right? Somebody had to do it for him. I don't know how skilled he is with AI, but damn, it's funny.
Oh, I bet Plesac's cooking it up there before he tees off at 5:30 in the morning. He's playing around with the AI, no doubt about it.
He had help. There's no doubt he had help with that. There's no way. No way.
It's very funny though. Rock, thank you for joining us. Enjoy your trip to the Twin Cities this weekend. That's going to be a blast. Brewers Twins always good. And then there's that little Cubs affair, that first meeting of the season between the Brewers and Cubs coming up too.
Yeah, well, that Wrigley Field is always a treat, and one of the old temples of baseball, sports for that matter. They're in Fenway. Those are can't miss ballparks. Those have got to be bucket lists for everybody.
Absolutely. Rock, have yourself a great weekend, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. He's
So,
the best, dude.
Rupert and Jet and other dogs at home, people just chilling, watching the Brewers, and the doorbell sounds.
Exactly.
What we got?
And my wife got up and checked the door. We don't even have a doorbell. We live in a condo building.
What do we got going on here? What's she barking at? What's she barking at?
Damn funny.
Dude, it was Bark at the Park is one of those that listen, there's dogs everywhere nowadays, but you start bringing in a bunch of corgis into the crowd, not surprising the Brewers offense woke up.
There you go.
Absolutely.
And Joey.
Noted dog lover,
man.
If anybody's going to get a deal with Hawes, I think Joey Ortiz might need to be over there at the Humane Society.
Should. All right, when we come back, time to close up shop already. Time flies when you're having a good time, as we do on Wednesday. And when we slide down the back of the dinosaur in about 20 minutes, we're more than halfway through the week. We'll over the hump. Everybody else just getting their Wednesday started. We appreciate you hanging out with us in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Closing ceremonies have arrived in the Wednesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Having a good day here. Always good to catch up with Rock, kicking around the topics of the day. Still time for you to get in some hot takes. 877-794-1973. Are there any lying around, Armen, that we didn't get to?
Come on.
Hot takes?
Yeah, there definitely are. Let me just grab some of these here. There definitely are. Now, one of them was in general, so it's not a hot take, I guess, but Boss or Dobler doesn't like hypothetical questions in general. He gave us a thumbs down. Dobler, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk hypotheticals here. Now, we know you're one of our mainstays and we love you, but that's what
well,
we
I like
talk
that.
about.
Dobler's just got a locker room mindset. We're not dealing with hypotheticals here.
Well,
all right, we're
point
dealing
was-
with the here and now and the real stuff.
He's here to gatekeep on hot takes, not have a hot take. He said, these are not hot takes. Hot take is a quickly produced, strongly worded, and often deliberately provocative or controversial opinion or reaction to a current event or topic. Yes, hypotheticals are different than hot takes. It's not hot. It's not like hypothetical hump day, but we're open to all kinds of discussions here. I mean, we're not gonna pitch and we're gonna test our limits here, So I think that was an interesting one.
I think we might have to throw hypothetical take day into the equation. That might have to get thrown into the hopper at one point.
Maybe
that might be a fun June day.
Maybe
that might be a wake and bake day. Like that sounds like we put in all of our half baked theories and questions about sports, and we just unload all of the possibilities.
That's it. That's what we did. That would be it.
4-point line in the NBA. Dunks are worth 3.
Boom.
Like, we could find a lot of interesting hypotheticals as to how that would change history.
Or like you said earlier in the show, he had his own hot take. Trade Brown blank glove Mitchell to Atlanta for a working non-cloudy center field TV camera, blah, blah, blah for the sound. So he doesn't like Garrett Mitchell. We get it.
Okay.
Wisconsin sports fanatic. No overseas game for the Packers. They always lose a home game when they play overseas. Stay home pack. They also lose games when they play overseas. Am I wrong in saying
You're
that?
not wrong there.
Lost their 2 international games. Now, the expectation was they were going to be because all the home teams have been announced. All of the road teams are the ones going to be announced later on here today in about 9 minutes or so. I think 8 a.m. Central is when it officially gets dropped. But this year they have the additional home game. I think the additional home game is going to go to the green package. So this would have been a year that they possibly would have lost one, but they were not in line to be losing it this year.
So, yes, the list is out. Yes, the Packers are staying domestic.
Staying home. Come on now.
Week 1, San Francisco at LA, Melbourne, Australia. Gotta like that for both of those teams.
Yeah, that's
Long travel.
And that's a fascinating game because it's going to be played at like 10:30 local time.
Yep. Week 3 in Rio, Ravens and Cowboys.
Okay.
Week 4 in London, Colts and Commanders.
That's
Week
kind of a good
5
game.
in London, Eagles and Jags.
That's a really good game.
Week 6, Jags doing the double dip. They're staying in London. Texans at Jags.
Another really good game. The division game out there for the Texans and Jags. That's a good one.
The game in Paris, the first one, week 7, October 25th. The Fleur-de-Lis, the Saints will be the favorite because of the logo facing the Steelers.
Ooh, Aaron going to have to go international again. Well, I never played in Paris, so I imagine he'd enjoy
You'll
that.
Probably dig it. Week 9 in Madrid, you've got the Bengals and Falcons.
I think we should have given them a worse game than that, but you know what? You get middle of the road teams. Okay.
Week 10 in Munich, November 15th. So you're clear of Oktoberfest. Patriots at Lions.
Okay.
That's intriguing.
Do they
that
get
game.
page 6 in Munich?
That's a great
How about
question.
that?
That's why you can advertise the
And then
Vrabel one.
Week 11, Mexico City, where they've had some issues and stuff before, but Vikings and 49ers.
49ers. Now,
Decent
Kyle
game.
Shanahan said that he had tried to pitch for the Rams also to be in that game because he said they requested us, so I'm requesting them. I think the Minnesota game is a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
There in Mexico City. That'll be
November
fun.
22nd. So that's
Nice.
your international slate that was released today. Packers staying home. Now, the question for me is, what are they going to do around the holidays? They were talking about playing a game, talking about Black Friday. They're talking about, would the Packers play on Thanksgiving for the fourth year in a row?
I was going to say 4th year in a row. I think they're going to play on Thanksgiving. I don't think they're going to play on Thanksgiving Eve. I think they're going to play Detroit on Thanksgiving, unless the Bears are just the primetime slate game of the year and they are all of the national favorites, which I totally could see. They're the flavor of the day. I could see the Bears leading off the NFL season, Drew, and playing on Thanksgiving.
Let's see it.
But I like Packers and Lions too much.
All right. We've cruised through a Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Brewers Padres game 2 tonight. We'll have that to talk about tomorrow. as well as getting ready for the schedule release.
Oh, can't wait. And those flaming hot PGA championship predictions.
Can't wait. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you again at 5 a.m. Thursday.
Peace.